What's going on? Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Saturday show. I'm your host, Ryan, and as usual, joined by my co-host, Jackson Muniz. How's it going, Jackson?
Going well, man. Going well. Was kind of expecting this to be quieter Saturday, but you know what? There's actually a lot of good racing. Maybe not so much stakes action, but really competitive field. So I'm actually looking forward to today's races.
It is. We're going to get into the late pick 4 at Monmouth. Of course, we're going to talk about the pick 6 at Belmont at the Big A. We're going to talk about the races coming up at Woodbine. Checking in with the chat. Katie's in here. Katie, what's going on? Yes, it will be a big show today. Back to basics, if you will, after a bit of a wonky couple of weeks there for us. But we made things happen the way we do. All of you racing fans, obviously, Royal Ascot concluded today. So before we kick off the U.S. racing, we got to bring on a guest and somebody who has become a friend of mine. Love talking horses with this guy. Big punter overseas. He just finished doing about 24 hours in like 4 or 5 days covering Royal Ascot live on radio. I can't believe this guy has the energy to join us. Hopefully he's gotten a couple beers in him. Hopefully he had some winners, but we're going to talk to you about Royal Ascot. It's Emmett Kennedy from the Final Furlong podcast. Emmett, what's up, my man?
Guys, how you doing? Jackson, Ryan, good to see you both. Yeah, kind of tired. It's not like I'm doing manual labor or anything. It's literally just talking into a microphone, doing some TV hits, but a thrilling week of racing, brilliant week of racing, emotional highs, emotional lows. How in the name of God did Tom Marquand get more thunder beaten today? My goodness, that was absolutely brutal. But a lot of fun and great to talk to you guys as always.
Absolutely. So let's start off with some jockey talk, and we'll do it as it relates to a certain U.S. jockey who we consider one of the best, but the owner or trainer, I forget for excuse me there, but of Factor Cheval, who ran overseas, had some choice words about Flavien Prat's ride. Emmett, what were your thoughts on one, what was said about him, and then 2, the ride itself?
Well, the ride was terrible. The comments are very interesting from Jérôme Renier, who was in the winners' enclosure today with Lavat. The only French winner at Royal Ascot was ridden by a British man. I wonder, is that a coincidence? Is it a possibility that some of these French horses just didn't handle the ground, or is it a possibility that it made sense to have James Doyle on the back of a horse? This was an insane race. The data I have for this is, I don't want to give out Russian disinformation or misinformation on the show. And it's been a very long week, and you're always looking ahead instead of looking backwards. But I'm pretty sure what was said to me is that in the first 2 furlongs, or maybe in the first 4 furlongs of the Prince of Wales Stakes, Los Angeles would have been in front of the contenders in the Queen Mary Stakes, which is a 5 furlong sprint for juvenile fillies. And the data modeling that a friend of mine is very connected to much smarter and far more wealthier people than me. The in-running data model was telling them that the true running of Los Angeles after 2 furlongs, was 350 to 1, and his in-running price at the time was 2 to 1 because he'd gone off at such an insane pace.
Wow.
So Ryan Moore wasn't particularly good in that ride, and he's the best jockey in the world as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what the hell they were doing with Los Angeles. He'd sweated up profusely beforehand too. Can you tell I'm bitter about this? Can you tell that I backed him to punted the 2 ears off him, and I'm really annoyed about it? Continuous was ridden by Wayne Lorden, who's the Derby winning jockey and very, very good, but they just went off at a mental gallop. And for some reason, Flavien Prat went, yeah, this is great. Let's track these guys, and come wide off the final turn. So I don't know. I don't think you can really rate that performance in terms of that's not who Los Angeles really is. It's clearly not who Factor Cheval is. Poor old Continuous has gone at the game. He was a St. Ledger winner a few years ago, Mile 6 Group 1 classic race in Britain and Ireland. Ombudsman was the slowest horse in the race, literally. He had the slowest overall top speed of any of the horses. So he's just stayed out of that insane gallop. And then there was a lot of trouble in running that William Buick got himself into. And I think that's actually worked to his advantage as well, because he's just stayed on then and won the race. Now, that's not to say Ombudsman is no good. I'm sure he's very talented. Up until his comeback in the Brigadier Gerard, he'd been unbeaten. I'm sure he's a nice horse. He's a Knight of Thunder. He's going to be improving. He didn't race as a 2-year-old, so he's going to be progressing along anyway, and he'll probably take a big step forward from this. But that's not the real running from Los Angeles, and I just throw that race out. There's a few races this week at Ascot you just have to throw out. That's one of them.
I do want to get into that and see your thoughts on, who, in terms of the, top contenders, maybe just didn't run their great race, handle the ground, who we can kind of look forward to coming out of that race for the next one. But first, you mentioned William Buick. We got to talk about Charles Appleby getting his first winner at Royal Ascot since 2022.
What's your name from?
Sorry?
What's your
Chucky
name
Apples. Chucky Apples. I took that from our buddy Matthew DeSantis. Chucky Apples. It's a fantastic name for Mr. Appleby there. But Rebels Romance, I believe it's an 18-time winner with 8 group or grade 1s, 2-time Breeders' Cup winner. I mean, very well-traveled horse. Paul Halloran, a friend of ours, put out a pretty nice tweet saying he's one of the best turf horses we've seen in quite some time. What were your thoughts on Rebels Romance's performance today?
I love this horse. Charlie Appleby couldn't train a dog to walk all week, but Rebels Romance to the rescue, baby.
I'm gonna have to steal that one.
I'm gonna have to note that expression down. That is electric. I loved every bit of that one.
And now bringing on our special guest, ladies and gentlemen, live from Ascot, Charlie Appleby. It's been a tough week for him, man. Cinderella's Dream was really disappointing in the Ribble. Not Ribblesdale. I can't remember what used to be known as the Windsor Forest. Notable speech was, oh dearie me. The biggest one was Shadow of Light. Dear God, he was shocking. I don't know how that 2-year-old was sent off the price he was today. The form was absolute dirt. But I suppose he cost £2 million, so people were excited about the fact that he won by 4 lengths, but he beat nothing. The form was worthless. But Rebels Romance is a hero, an absolute hero. And at the age of 7, for that horse to roll into the Hardwick Stakes, as far as I understand it, that race has never been won by a 7-year-old. And if it has been, it was World War II era. Like, you're going way back in the day to find the last one to do it. That's 2 7-year-olds this week for Godolphin to hit the winners' enclosure at Royal Ascot. Gold Cup is won by Trawlerman, but he's trained by John Gosden. And Charlie Appleby actually said to ITV and he actually said to my colleague on TalkSport 2, Ian Abrams, this was his last roll of the dice. And I don't think he was meaning like, oh, this was my last run of the week. I think he was under serious pressure to find a winner. And I really like Charlie. I think he's very charismatic. He's obviously great with the media. His record at the Breeders' Cup is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. But this horse, 13 wins at group level. He is the joint winning most horse, along with an Australian horse whose name I've forgotten, in Godolphin's history. They've been around since the 90s. They're the only 2 to hit the 13 group mark, and he's not done. I think he's going to take an awful lot of beating in the King George, because last year, if you look at the form book, it'll tell you, oh, it was good to firm ground. Aidan O'Brien went on a rampage after that King George a year ago, and I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but Auguste Rodin got beaten, and Aidan O'Brien walked the track and he said, that's not good to firm ground, and we wouldn't have run if we'd known, really. And Ryan Moore was adamant it wasn't good to firm ground. Whole thing was a big kerfuffle. Rafe Beckett got sucked into it because he supplemented Blue Stocking for the Jumpment International, which was running good to firm ground, having said, oh, my horse doesn't act on good to firm ground. And then she got beaten, finishing 4th before going on to win the Arc. So that's definitely not good to firm ground. And the point I'm making there is Rebels Romance was 3rd. That ground wouldn't have suited him. This ground will. If this weather holds up and it's still good to firm ground in a month's time, I don't see a horse that's going to beat him. Maybe Jan Bruegel. Maybe. I wouldn't even be sure about that. And last year's winner had been beaten in the Hardwick Stakes, Goliath, before coming on and taking a big step forward to go and win the King George. Massive performance. Wonderful horse. I think he's a 7-time Group 1 winner. Group 1's in Hong Kong. 2 Breeders' Cup turfs. The only horse. Shout out Howard Kravitz. He was telling me he's the only horse to ever win the Breeders' Cup turf as a 6-year-old, and over 50 had tried before him. Yep. Group 1's in Hong Kong, Dubai. Godolphin's first winner in Hong Kong. Britain, Germany, Globetrotter, hero, £10.8 million in prize money. Set your watch by him.
That's the craziest part to me is he's gone literally all over the world to get these grade 1 wins. I mean, he's like you said, Hong Kong. He's gone everywhere in Europe. He's gone to America. He's been in Dubai, and he just shows up and he runs his race, and he goes against the very best, and he beats them more often than not. He's incredible. Yeah,
it's mad, Jackson. And I think there was a few people who were just dismissive of him today in the sense that he has to go foreign to win those group and grade 1 races. And there's still a snobbish attitude towards your racing, which I watch a lot of American racing. I know the standard is way better than it used to be. And you guys literally beat us in the Breeders' Cup Mile now, which is that's becoming annoying. Stop that. Thanks very much. But he's a brilliant racehorse. I think that they just found things a bit difficult with him early on. They tried him on dirt. I remember when he won the Breeders' Cup turf, Charlie was saying afterwards he kind of regretted entering him in that race because he'd worked so well on the dirt at Delmar. Pretty sure it was Delmar, wasn't it, that year?
Yeah.
That he'd worked so well on that Delmar dirt that he was thinking, oh, God, I've made a mistake. But he didn't. He won the turf. He's won it twice, and he'll probably win it again this year.
Well, the Breeders' Cup is at Del Mar again this upcoming year, so I wonder if maybe they do take a shot in the Classic this time around. Because, I mean, what else does he have to prove? I mean, he obviously can win the turf again. You want to win a third time, or do you want to try to go do something else with the Classic?
Well, Godolphin do have a horse called Sovereignty, and he's a bit all right. He's okay, that horse.
I've heard he's a decent horse. Yeah, I've heard he's okay.
They do have a horse called Sovereignty who I think is going to be just all right in the Breeders' Cup Classic, assuming he gets there this fall. Rebels Romance, absolutely excellent racehorse. He's danced every dance on every country, as you guys spoke about. Group 1s all over the place. You mentioned he'll be back in the King George, and definitely think he's coming back to Del Mar for the fall, Emmett?
Yeah, I don't see why not. You and I have talked about this before. I don't really understand why Charlie hasn't sent a runner to America yet this year, because he does have a team deep enough for that, and I'm slightly confused by that. But the Breeders' Cup is always a big operation. It's always a big target for Godolphin. Charlie has such great success there. There's absolutely no way that horse won't be on the plane over.
Yeah, has to come over, you'd imagine. I think he's going to have quite a few runners coming up at Saratoga in not too long for their July 4th racing festival and then into the summer. I did hear that he has a few coming over. So I'm excited to see who ends up showing up and where. We'll keep things moving. We were talking on the pre-show. You wanted me to bring up, was it the Prince of Wales fractions?
Oh, yeah. No, I was just saying that the pace they'd gone off. So, again, I need to do this off the top of my head, but I'm pretty certain that Los Angeles would have been in front of the juvenile fillies in the Queen Mary, which is a 5-furlong sprint race, after 4 furlongs. And like, if the in-running betting is Los Angeles is going well here, he's 2-1, but the modeling is telling you, no, this horse's true odds is 350-1, then they've gone off an insane gallop there. So the only thing I'll say about this is I've looked this up. That data is not out there anywhere else. And the person who told me this is very, very good. He's very crafty. So I think Los Angeles is going to rock up to a Group 1 in Europe, and people are going to be dismissive of him. They're going to think, he's been well beaten in the Champion Stakes. He's been thrashed in the Prince of Wales. And you're going to get a bigger price about him than you should. Keep the faith with that horse. He'll bounce back. But that was a brutal run.
It was. And, okay, speaking of Los Angeles, and I know he was on your kind of top 10 of horses to look forward to. And we are going to bring up who the winners and who the losers were out of that. But I do want to talk about, of those 10 that you were looking forward to running, who do you think has an excuse, whether it was going over the ground or, as you said, Los Angeles going at a 5-furlong sprinter pace through 4 furlongs of the race? Who do you think we're going to be able to look forward to betting back out of those out of this week at Royal Ascot? And then who do you think maybe just didn't show up? Maybe we're not going to be looking forward to them the next time.
Well, Illinois is one I'd highlight as one that I'd be now cautious of. He's been beaten fair and square by Trolloman. That was his first go over 2 mile 4. I know Aidan was saying afterwards that they hadn't been training him for this race because Kyprios was number 1, and then he's subbed in. Maybe as a 5-year-old he'll be stronger. Maybe he'll be more conditioned and able to tackle that a little bit better. But I thought he had every chance off the final turn, and Trolloman just kept pouring it on. So I don't know. Even at the age of 8, I'm not sure how Trolloman will beat him. Now, that's the only thing. If Trolloman regresses massively and goes backwards, and it's highly unusual for us to have, we have 8-year-old sprinters, 9-year-old, 10-year-old sprinters, for goodness sakes, but 8-year-old middle distance Group 1 stayers, don't know. So maybe he can step forward, but I don't see how he beats Trolloman this season. In terms of I'll go with the 3-year-olds for the moment. We had with the Coronation Stakes, where Zaragana had been awarded the French 1,000 guineas in the stewards' room very controversially. That horse is a pig. Like, her own owner said she's nuts. She's just nuts. She's like her grandmother. She's just completely nuts. And she doesn't want to go to the lead. She just doesn't want to put her head in front. She's thrown that race away. So she's got all the talent in the world, but I don't think she'll go through with it. Just keep her in mind that you're going to look at very fancy figures. You're going to look at very impressive form figures. I don't trust that horse as far as you can throw her. But a horse that you absolutely can trust is Field of Gold.
I was just going to want to pivot over to Field of Gold. What a special horse he looked like. I believe he ran, was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday, day 1.
Tuesday, on day 1. I mean, what a spectacular showing out of a horse that was.
Yeah, I'll hold my hands up, man. I got this badly wrong. I thought 4 runs in 9 weeks was going to be just a little bit too much for him. And actually, that's something that John Gosden referenced afterwards. He said if we hadn't He's basically still very annoyed that they lost the 2,000 guineas in Newmarket. And you look back at that race, Charlie Appleby actually said to William Buick, and he's made this public, so it's okay, how the hell did Ruling Court win the guineas? Like, how the hell did that win a guineas and beat him in the process? And actually, you look back at that form, Shadow of Light is just, I don't know. He got very lucky to win 2 Group 1s last year, I think. He beat Whistlejacket, who underperformed and isn't very good anyway. And then he beat Expanded, who's just useless. He could be towing milk floats soon enough if he's not careful. Poor old Ancient Truth is no longer with us. In behind was Seagull's 11, who ran in the Jersey Stakes today. He's had the meat and 2 veg cut off. He was dropping in class, dropping in trip, and he still got beaten. So he's completely useless. So like he beat nothing last year. He beat absolutely nothing, that horse. So I'd be very, very wary of him going forward. But Field of Gold is a machine. Mm-hmm. He's dismissed Henri Matisse, who we know and love, Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Hero, obviously a French 2,000 guineas winner, who won that in a course record time. And Ruling Court, he's 10 pounds below his best in that race, and he didn't have an easy preparation coming into it. He'd been ready for the Derby. You're training a horse to run over a mile 4, and then you're getting him to settle for a mile race back at Ascot against a machine like Field of Gold. The whole thing was a disaster, really, for him. But take nothing away from what Field of Gold did. Colin Keane's first proper big ride for Juddmonte. I know he rode Lead Artist in the Queen Anne, but that horse had no chance. Especially in hindsight, this was the pressure ride, and he's a monster. I got to hold my hands up. I was wrong about him. I underestimated him. I won't underestimate him again. And in the opening race, I really like Docklands, and I think he's a lovely horse, and we put him up. We actually talked about him quite a bit on Howard's show. Mm-hmm. I don't know how the hell he won that race. Rosalien should have won. I thought Sean was quite weak in the finish there, and that owner is pretty brutal. He tends to jock people off, and he tends to fire trainers very quickly as well. So everyone needs to be real careful there and keep an eye out. Nobody bats an eyelid when this stuff happens in America. It's like, oh my stars, what's happened in Britain? They all lose their minds over here. Don't be.
Sorry, I was just a point on that was was it Kieran Schumacher? Didn't he get yanked off of Field of Gold after that ride where he lost, and then Colin Keane gets the mount? And I mean, it was just such a split-second decision that you don't really see that happen over here. No,
you don't. And I'm told he wasn't even told by the trainer. It was the secretary told him. Wow. And he came in and rode work that morning and wasn't actually told. That might be exclusive for your show. So yeah, look, I don't like that. We spoke with Kieran Schumacher today because he's ridden 2 winners at Royal Ascot this week. By the way, Colin Keane rode 1 winner. Kieran Schumacher rode 2. And he was just saying what a toll it was on his mental health. And I know that we like to laugh and joke. And look, it's our job in the media to call this stuff out. If a jockey gives a horse a bad ride, it's not us to be there going, oh, well, he's a nice guy and it's not his fault. No, it's crap ride. That was terrible. What the hell were you doing, man? You have to call it out. But you can feel sorry for the guy. And nobody wants him to lose his job like that. And he was saying this, nobody wants to feel sorry for you. The only thing you can do is go back out there, put on your best face and try your best. He was brilliant and Never So Brave. He was brilliant and Noble Champion. He's a good jockey. He was just terrible on Field of Gold that day, and it cost him dearly. But Field of Gold is a very, very exciting horse. Rosalien is probably going to take him on in the Sussex Stakes. He'll murder him.
Yeah. Quick pivot for to stick on Field of Gold, rather. Do you think Field of Gold is a horse that they would take out west for the Breeders' Cup, or do you think that's one that they're just going to campaign out in the UK and then just probably go off to stud afterward? Obviously, a very well-bred horse.
That is, on Racing Post ratings, that is the best performance in this race in the history of RPRs. They date back to 1991. So this is better than Rock of Gibraltar. It's better than Henry the Navigator, who ran in the Breeders' Cup Classic. I would be amazed if they didn't go there. Okay. Juddmonte liked the Breeders' Cup. John Gosden loves the Breeders' Cup. Now, his sire Kingman didn't go, but the difference between Kingman and this fella is this guy's just rolled off good to firm ground, no problem whatsoever. Yeah. So why wouldn't you go there? I'd be surprised if they don't, Ryan. I'd be very surprised if they don't.
That's awesome. I mean, if we see Field of Gold line up in the United States for the Breeders' Cup weekend, I mean, that is going to be the level of hype that we had surrounding a horse last year named Lake Victoria for Aidan O'Brien.
I thought you were going to say City of Troy.
Oh, no. No, a horse that we actually knew was going to win on the surface that she was running on. No, Lake Victoria was a horse that I maybe half expected to see at Royal Ascot. I assume this just kind of wasn't the plan, or where do you think we'll see Lake Victoria pop up next now that she's back to her winning ways?
Oh, she'd have murdered that lot. She'd absolutely thrashed Serene, who ended up winning the race in the 1,000 guineas. She had a little bit of a setback. So she's going to be out. She is, I believe, being trained with the Breeders' Cup in mind. I think they're working back from that. So as far as I understand it, she's going to come back for Irish Champions Weekend in the Matron Stakes. I spoke with Aidan O'Brien last week. I didn't really want to go into it too much because you want to talk about the horses that are actually going to be rocking up as opposed to one that can't make it. But he intimated that Matron Stakes at Irish Champions Weekend would be her comeback with, I believe, a view to the Breeders' Cup.
Awesome. Well, obviously, back at Del Mar, I'll be there. Jackson, you'll be there. Emmett, any shot we see you out at the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar?
I think we might actually be doing some work with the Breeders' Cup this year, so I'm not entirely so. We've done work with them before, and I am open to offers. I am open to ideas for sponsors and sponsor opportunities to be there in California where the surf meets the turf. Absolutely, I want to be there. Love to be doing some content with you boys too.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we can get you out there. All right, Emmett.
Yeah, awesome.
You've had about 24 hours of live shows, of live radio going this entire week. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm extremely grateful that you took any time to come and spend with us. Love chatting racing with you. Obviously, huge week at Royal Ascot. When's the next big racing day out there? And then tell the people where we can find you and your colleagues' excellent content.
Man, that's a really good question. What day is it? Where are we? What's going on? Irish Derby weekend is coming up, so that's going to be a big one for Aidan O'Brien. We've got Lambourne. The middle distance division looks incredibly weak. There's probably only one good horse that could take him on, and he's a gelding, so he can't run. Your geldings can compete in the classics. Ours are not allowed to. So Lambourne's probably going to win that race. So we've got the Irish Derby coming up. We've got Glorious Goodwood, even if I could use my mouth words correctly, will be the next big festival, which we'll be covering on the Final Furlong podcast, which you can subscribe to for free on YouTube. We knocked it out of the park. There were so many winners this week. My head is spinning from it. If I'd only combined them in the right way, we could have made a fortune. You made a fortune on the... Didn't you have the... Oh, God, what was the big bet you had?
It was Field of Gold. I had that over Henri Matisse.
No, it was the Derby. You had the trifecta in the Derby, which Ryan has the Derby trifecta because he was smart enough to listen to what I said. I wasn't smart enough to listen to what I said, and so I didn't have the Derby trifecta. So he made a fortune, and then I had to pretend that I was delighted for him. No, I was really like, oh, no!
Love it.
Oh,
yeah, that's the worst. When you all week long you're talking about these same horses. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. And they get to the gate, you do something totally different, and it's like, oh, sure, just stuck with what I've been talking about for the last 6 days.
It's like, to be fair, I got the trifecta in the Preakness because of Ryan and Charlie. Charlie was in Europe, couldn't place a bet, and then had to, through gritted teeth, celebrate as I'm DMing him, going, "You hero, 76-1, happy days!" Like, I was like, yeah, thanks very much. So, Final Furlong podcast on YouTube. We're very new there. I think we have about 3,000 subscribers, but the engagement was great this week. We really appreciate that. The audio listens are great. We've been doing the audio for a long time, so you can listen to the podcast wherever you go. There's a lot of American trainers listening, actually. Shout out Tim Shaw and a few others, so we really appreciate that. And we've already had people cross over from your content to mine, and people loving you guys as well. You're heroes after that Preakness. You're heroes after Sovereignty in the Belmont. They're looking for you to come back on, so we got to set that up soon.
We'll be ready for how about the Travers at Saratoga? That's probably the next biggest day. Either that or the Haskell. We'll always be willing and able to join the Final Furlong pod. We love talking with you, Emmett.
Perfect. We got to drag Jackson in next time as well.
No doubt. He's also sharp. He hates any favorite. So, yeah, you're guaranteed to get a good price if you're talking to this guy.
So I'm talking about.
All right, Emmett. Thank you so much. Take care, my man. Get some well-deserved rest, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Get some well-deserved alcohol, I think is what you mean. Thanks, boys. Be good.
Thanks, Emmett.
Good one, Emmett. Emmett Kennedy. Love talking to that guy. He is just an electric factor. And Jackson, we got to take some of those sayings that he gave. What was the one he gave about 2 minutes in?
He couldn't train a dog to walk.
Train a dog to walk. That was so good. I'm gonna have to note that one down. Moving off of that, obviously a fantastic week out at Royal Ascot. Incredible insight. Again, you can find Emmett Kennedy on the Final Furlong podcast. Incredible information. He has tons of sharp handicappers and punters on there to cover all the best racing from his neck of the woods. Jackson, we got to get caught up on the U.S. racing now. We are approaching the gate at Monmouth for race number 6, and quickly we have some pick 4 tickets to give out. We'll do this pretty quickly. I have them up on the screen for you. Why don't you take us through your ticket here?
Yeah, sorry, one second. Let me pull it up. Let me pull up the PPs. I have Woodbine up. Yeah, I wanted to keep this really skinny. I have a couple shorter prices that I think are going to be pretty tough. But this first leg, wow, the 8 is 2-5. Did not expect that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to beat that horse. I don't, that's Epona's Hope. Ran really well at Gulfstream earlier this year. I don't really have any crazy knocks against her. There is other speed in here. She does have to take her track to a different racetrack and run a little bit further. But she should be 2-5. But I'm gonna try to get the 3 up there and the 4. They're both horses that are be close to the lead. Hopefully they sit just off of her. Maybe get the best trip in that spot. So gonna try to get a price there. Silver Slugger should win the next race, though. I mean, he ran huge at Saratoga. He had a horrible trip, just sizzling pace in between. Never had a breather at any point in that race, and still ran a bang up race. Finished 5th in that spot. Ran really big. He'll be short priced. I'm not going to try to beat him. Race 8, going to use a couple price. Race 8 is the most wide open race on the card. I'm going to try to double up with Sandpipes and Happy Cat. Both should be off the pace types. Blinker's going on for Sandpipes, so maybe he'll be a little bit closer. But to be honest, Ryan, I thought you could go any direction in that race, although you're being very aggressive singling the 5. So it looks like we're on the same page a little bit there. And then the last race is a tough one. Trying to be the favorite, Wild Princess, who's on the rail. Coming off of a race that came off the turf, she got the lead. I don't really want to bet her out coming out of that one now. She's facing real dirt horses. I'm going to try the 3 stretching out for the first time. I do think she's the fastest. That's Awesome Sunshine. She'll make the front. And then Winning Shot is the favorite in there. She's probably the only off the pace type I would try to use in there. It's a tough race, though. Tough sequence. It's a good one, though.
Tough sequence. Great pick 4 as we're approaching the gate. Real quick, I'll take us through mine. I went with the 3 and the 6. Bingo's Birkin, who I think is going to fit here, along with the 6. I think there's enough pace, and I think this 8 is a strict 5 furlong horse. I think 5.5. This one is vulnerable, so at 2-5. Going to try and beat him with those 2. Going to single the 7 in the next, same as you, Jackson. I'm going to single that 5 in the in race 8. Very competitive race. Could go any direction. That's kind of where I like to take a stab, try and separate. And if I can get 3 down, I just want to buy the last race. It's a $14 ticket to play it for $1. I figured that's pretty worth it for me. If I can beat a 2-5 shot, I'll single a very logical favorite in the next race. I'll pick my go with my top choice rather in race number 8 at a good price of, I believe, the morning line around 5-1. And then I'm just going to end it by purchasing the race that is a maiden $10,000 claiming race going a mile on the dirt. And yes, that 5 is 5-1 on the morning line. That's Sandpipes. So that's my pick 5, $7 if you play it. If you play Jackson's, it's $4 for both for the 50-cent base. They are loading into the gate at Monmouth, so we'll let Matt Dinnerman take us the rest of the way. We missed race number 5 at Belmont at the Big A. I was singled to the Chris Elliott horse, the number 6, who went.
We were just talking about horses that went a little too fast in Los Angeles. A little bit of
he did his best Los Angeles impression by going 46 to the half, going like a mile and an eighth. So he did not win. The 7 Wally World ended up winning. Matt Dinnerman's going to give us the call of race number 6 here. And then Jackson, we got to talk some Belmont at the Big A, pick 6, as we are about 15 minutes away. We'll let Matt Dinnerman call us. It's race number 6 on the lawn at Monmouth.
And they're off in the Goldwood Stakes. Etruri in the gray is sent for speed. Epona's Hope, the favorite on the outside, a neck off. And Drifaros down on the inside is going to stalk the pace today, running in third as the top pair a half length apart. The gray, Etruri leads the way. Bel Pensiero in the 4th position. Then Bingo's Birkin, Rosie Cheeks, they're side by side. Up for it at the tail, 8 lengths off the pace. Half mile to go. Etrurian leads the way by a half length. Epona's Hope, they're on the outside in chase mode going into the turn, and she streaks 2.5 clear of Drifaros in third. Bel Pensiero sent along a little bit in 4th. Rosie Cheeks joins her from the inside. She's 6 lengths behind, searching for racing room right behind Drifaros at the top of the lane. In the meantime, Etrurian still in front. Epona's Hope, second, needs to get going right now. She's second, switching leads. Down the inside, Rosie Cheeks is going to get outside for a rally here, and Drifaros is coming down at the rail. Epona's Hope's beaten. Here comes Rosie Cheeks. Rosie Cheeks explodes to the lead, and she has won the Goldwood Stakes. Sammy Camacho.
Right idea. We got the 2-5 horse and didn't have it. Damn.
Yeah, we had the right idea. Somehow we didn't use Chad Brown on the lawn, but given that was a turf sprint, so that's not exactly his forte there. So, hey, we had the right idea, Lord Zed. Good to see you, my man. Hey, Shane, if you're not doing anything, feel free to hop in here. I can send you the link. Just give us the call. This is our last Saturday show for a little bit, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna be degenerates on here.
And if not, Shane, let us know if the horse in the first race is going to win at Low South. Exactly. Might be playing a little contest. Let me know.
There we go. All right. Well, that was the Monmouth pick 4. Hey, we tried. That was the right idea. We all thought that everybody here except for Noah Maher thought that 8 was a vulnerable favorite. We tried to beat her. We just didn't have the right horse. That's all right. You can't be right 100% of the time. We are not.
Even with trying to beat the 2 to 5 horse, you still don't want to overspread and use like 6 in there because that doesn't make any sense either.
Exactly.
At that point, you may as well just take the 2 to 5 horse and press it up. I mean, it's basically doing the exact same thing. So you still need to be somewhat aggressive, even with you're trying to beat the heavy favorite.
Exactly. That's good advice for ticket structure along the lines of everything else. We're going to keep it moving with Belmont at the Big A. Speaking of ticket structure, first race. And just as a heads up, sorry, real quick before we get into Belmont at the Big A, we have Los Alamitos coming up at 1 o'clock is first post. Kieran McLaughlin is going to join us. He is California Pick 4 on Twitter or on X. Obviously specializes in the Pick 4 tickets. We're going to be talking races 1, 2, 3 at Los Al. Just get his general thoughts on those 3 races to kick off the day. Unfortunately, we're not going to be showing any Los Al racing. I was unable to get the clearance, and I'm not trying to get us sued, Jackson. So I'll go ahead and give us the call. I won't be as good as Michael Rona on the mic, but I'll do my best impression or best imitation rather. But we'll pivot back out to Belmont at the Big A, Jackson. We got a pick 6. It almost carried over. We were a flared nostril away from a pick 6 carryover today. Instead, $70,000 in the pool as we approach 5 minutes to post. You have a very, very heavy favorite and obviously a very likely winner. 1 to 4 on Friend of the Devil. The 5 ridden by Chris Elliott. Jackson, we're on the lawn here. Are you going to try and beat this horse, or is this a single and move on?
It's a single and move on. Sorry, 1 second. I got logged out of my DRF for some reason. From what I remember, this horse is just completely loose in the lead, right? I mean, there's no other speed in the race. He's the fastest on figures. This turf course has been awfully speedy the last couple of days. I know the last race fell apart, but those were 2 long shots opening up 15 lengths in the rest of the field, so I don't want to put too much stock into that either. He's 1 to 4 for a reason. I don't think there's any reason to try to beat.
Up on the screen, this is my pick six ticket that I'm going to be playing. There was a big scratch in the I believe it was the 10th race. Anna's Call was another very, very likely winner in the sequence. Noah Maher with some fun in the chat. 5 at Aqueduct is his long shot of the day. Of course, that is the 1 to 5 shot, Friend of the Devil that we're talking about right now. Shout out to Noah. Noah, you also have the link if you're trying to get in here, unless you have that work that you think that you're doing. But hey, we'll find out a little bit later if Noah's going to join us. Yeah, I don't know what this guy. I don't know what he's up to. They are just these two. They need a show on their own, to be honest. They just got to go back and forth over this. Noah, I heard Noah's still recovering because Doug O'Neill just absolutely dunked on the kid. But anyway, to go back to the Belmont at the Big A, pick 6, starting with the 5, Friend of the Devil. Obviously, we're just going to single and move on. That's 1 to 5 here. And Jackson, I have a question. So when playing the $1 pick 6 or even the $2 pick 6, if you have a sequence like this where you have a free square, on the sheet and you're moving on, what do you kind of think in terms of do you think that makes the pick 6 more worth playing because you kind of have a free square even though it's that first leg, or do you think that is going to just I don't want to say reduce the payout because that's kind of obvious, but do you think it makes it harder to get that kind of value when you have a 1 to 5 in the first leg? Like, do you think it'd make more sense just to play the pick 5?
I mean, if you think the 1 to 5 horses can't lose, which it seems like you do, I think it's worth playing because it's $1 minimum. So, I mean, a lot of it depends on what you think the other races too, obviously, because you're going to have to spend more. But with the $1 minimums instead of the 50-cent minimums, it's going to eliminate a lot of people later in the sequence, depending on who wins the next races. I can see the last race you have a couple long shots. So right away I say, play the $1 because in the $1 pick 6, a lot less people are going to use horses like that rather than 50-cent pick 5 or, okay, I'll just throw in that horse. I'll throw in this horse. I'll throw in that horse. You can spread around a lot more. I think you still need to be cautious about overspreading because everyone's going to single that horse too. It's not like you're not creating any other value or anything. Everyone's going to use that horse and going to be spreading in the other legs besides that. So you still want to be somewhat, but it's, again, if you think the horse can't lose, play it. Single it. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So, I'm going to single the 5 in the first leg. Second leg, that's race number 7. We're going a mile on the dirt. If you followed us on Big Hoof Energy, I actually picked the 1 and the 3 as my top choice, but that was I I'll just say a mistake on my part, or in terms of value for what I wanted. I am going to play the pick 5, and that is going to be who I kind of back up with, if you will, in one form or another. But I like the 5 and the 6 in this second leg. I think the 3 Toscano, Jackson, you brought up a really good point on Big Up Energy. This horse's last 2 races going the mile distance. One was 2 turns at Fairgrounds, one was at Aqueduct. Both were off the turf efforts, and both were very respectable buyers, and certainly match up to the starter allowance he ran 4 races back, going 6 furlongs at Fairgrounds. But still, he's kind of got to prove that on the fast track going the mile distance. So for that reason, I am going to fade him. I'm going to go with the 5 and 6. The 5 is Corvus. One that could pick up the pieces late if they do fly a little too quickly up front. But the 6, Dear Chairman, is one who I believe is your top pick in the race. Chris Elliott should have this one up on the lead, as this one blew the doors off of state-bred maiden competition 2 back at Aqueduct, when this one won by 12 1/4 lengths. The second place finisher, Palace Boss, came out to win an allowance race next out, as you and Kaylee both mentioned. Jackson, you're frozen on the screen, but now you're back. So I want to use these 2. I think outside speed is good, and then obviously if they really melt things or heat things up front, it gets a little tired in that late stages. I think Corvus turning back for 9 furlongs back to the flat 8 is going to be a good one. I'm going to spread in the next leg. I'm going 1, 3, 5, 8, and 12. Again, I wanted some horses that are going to be forward on this turf course. I also wanted horses that are going to be coming from off of it. So just got some variety there. Moving on to race number 9. We're going a mile. It's maiden $30,000 claimers. This is not my favorite race to play, but I am going to single, which is not something I typically do in these lower level amounts. While I like the 4 Runamore, I just thought maybe the speed figures are a little light and going to be a little slow. The number 9 Omaha Pistol looks very well meant. You get a jockey upgrade from Eric Cancel to Linda Rice's go-to rider, Jose Lascano. This one's going to be from the outside, gets to stretch that speed from 7 furlongs out to a mile. 7 furlongs, 2 back when claimed out of Jeremiah Englehart's barn. That was his best effort to date. Then got a run over a sealed and muddy main course going 6.5, where he still ran a very respectable race. I just think this one likes longer. I think the 1-turn mile is going to fit this one like a glove. Next, we go to race number 10. This is where the big scratch of Anna's Call took place. 6 furlongs, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, state-bred, allowance non-winners of 1 other than condition. Originally, I spread pretty deep in here, but my main goal here is to fade the 3 Perugia and the 5 Miss Bourbon. Jackson, you and I talked about that. That was on an absolute meltdown pace last time, or absolutely huge pace collapse, I should say, last time out, as that entire field fell apart. And Lina Wright, who was 1 for 28, ended up winning that race. Lina Wright came back to run yesterday. So I'm going 8-10 as they're loading into the gate. 8 running reel for Safi Joseph. Looks to be a threat, going 5 furlongs back out to 6 now. The 10 long-legged Queen has some turf efforts to get out to get back to. Then the last leg, Jackson, I took your advice and used the 2 blinkers on for Ricardo Santana, going inside from the far outside draw last time out, where pretty much lost all chance, gets blinkers. The 6 Uncommon for Clement Stables, and the 9 Candy is Dandy. They're in the gate at Belmont at the Big A, so I'll do my best race call impression here. And we will call them around the track. Start of the pick 6. They are off. Friend of the Devil broke well. Just to that one's outside is the number 7. And my DRF just broke, so that's awesome. Looking back now, that is Dancing Bear, who's in 2nd. River of Time against the rail in 3rd. I'm Due in 4th. Friend of the Devil's loose up on the lead as expected. And then out the back is the number 4. That's Strobe Light up top. Still Friend of the Devil. They just passed the quarter in 21.98 seconds, which is fast, but he did it pretty much all by himself. 2nd place, still Dancing Bear. 3rd, River of Time, trying to make a move and close that gap up a little bit. The 3, I'm Due, is under a ride as they approach the top of the stretch. Friend of the Devil still doing it pretty easily from the looks of it under Chris Elliott. 2nd place, still Dancing Bear. River of Time trying to make a run up the rail. Then 4th is I'm Due. They're at the top of the stretch, the half mile in 43.92 seconds, but Friend of the Devil seems to be doing it easily. Just kicked away again by about 2.5, 3 lengths. Friend of the Devil is running away with this thing. I'm Due trying to make a run. River of Time has made a run into 2nd as Dancing Bear's fading out of it. It's going to be Friend of the Devil on top. River of Time in 2nd. I'm Due in 3rd. 1-4 to kick off the pick 6. Jackson, it was always a free square, wasn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Looked like it. One like it.
Certainly one like a 1-4 shot.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The one horse I wanted to make a little note of for next time was Dancing Bear. Actually outbroke the stablemate. Was gonna go to lead, and it was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna duel with my stablemate, and then took it back. I mean, they gave him no chance to win that race. If he comes back in the right spot and finds he make the front end, that's a horse I would want to bet back next time, because it was very similar to the Rodriguez's that we saw out here in California earlier, where they just gave him no chance to win that race. That's just a total toss. He's obviously much quicker than them.
That was a Citizen Bull Rodriguez-esque run race with how they played kind of bodyguard and didn't compromise each other, which I get it. When you're from the same stable, I guess you can't, but from a bettor's perspective, you can't love that. My internet's going a little bit slow right now, so we're just going to try and make all this work. Let me see if I can speed things up maybe just a little bit. All right, we're just going to close every DRF tab I have open. Jackson, next one we're going to talk about race number 6 at Woodbine. We are approaching, looks like 12 minutes to post. What'd you say?
I'm ready. I love it.
All right. We're approaching 12 minutes to post, so let me get your thoughts on this, and then we are going to pivot to Los Al, as obviously I mentioned Kieran is going to be joining us shortly. But on top of that, I understand, Jackson, you're playing in a bit of a tournament today?
Yeah, playing a tournament at Los Al. I think it's $50 entry. They seeded the prize pool, so definitely want to get involved in. Not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. Still waiting to see if Shane's going to let us know if his horse is going to win or not. I thought that first race was tough. The 2-year-old race was tough, so probably not what I'm going to play. But we'll see. It'll be interesting. Let us know the bankroll. What are you playing for? And is this live money or a win place tourney? Yeah, it's live money. It's $50 entry, $35 bankroll. I'll be double barreled. It depends how many people enter, obviously, but the prize pool relative for the entry is going to be really good today because it's seated, obviously. So definitely want, if people look at Los Al at all and want to get involved, I highly recommend it. It's a high EV tournament, and it's $50 one. Most of the big tournaments are much higher than that. So gonna
Shane
hope
has weighed in.
We'll see. Baffert
has weighed in.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he usually is, but yeah, Noah told me that the horse isn't that good, so we'll see. But it's also Baffert.
It is also Baffert.
I did not watch any of the workouts, to be perfectly honest, on that Baffert one.
You were trying to last night. You did text us, looking to try and locate those.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll take a quick beat. Jackson, we got let me get the exact amount of days here. Something like 27 days until we're back. The Seaside Oval, where the surf meets the turf at sunny Del Mar. What day is your favorite at Del Mar during the summer racing season? Whether it's
opening day.
Okay, so it's opening day.
Yeah, not even close.
All right. Okay. Hey,
my
very
favorite day
fair.
of the whole year. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Derby is obviously great too.
What's that?
Derby's obviously up there, as is the Breeders' Cup, but I don't know. Opening day at Del Mar.
I meant your favorite day of the Del Mar summer meet, but it sounds like it's opening day. Oh, but it sounds like opening day is your favorite of the entire calendar year at any racetrack.
I look forward. It's like Christmas in July, and it might be better than Christmas, honestly. I mean, it's just the start of the season. The whole fam goes out. We go have a good time. We go drink all day long, get good food. Always lose all our money on opening day, and it's great. I never win opening day. I never win the first 3 weeks of the meet. I get better as the meet gets, as we get deeper and deeper in the meet, typically, historically at least. Maybe that'll change this year though.
Hey, maybe it'll change. We always know how that track is going to play, but it's always tough. Those first few days, especially that first race, everybody wants to win the first race. You will see droppers like you've never seen before, just people just trying to claim and drop a horse into that first race at Del Mar just to try and get that win, to say that you won the first race on opening day of the Del Mar meet. It's prestigious. It's very much the West Coast version of Saratoga that we have going on. For the summer at Del Mar, I don't know what my favorite day is. Probably is probably pretty normal. Pacific Classic day, not just the Pacific Classic race or the Pacific Classic, but all the races surrounding that. It's always one of the most competitive cards.
Yeah.
It's either got to be that or the Juvenile Day. The name is escaping me.
The Futurity?
Futurity, thank you.
Nah, it means over, bro. I hate it.
I mean that is the downside, and that's why it's not my number one undisputed. It does have to be Pacific Classic Day, but hey, even at the end of the meet, the racing is still very strong. Obviously, you don't want Christmas to end, and Christmas lasts about 8 weeks at Del Mar. So Pacific Classic Day's got to be one of my favorites. But I mean, opening day at Del Mar, there is no environment like it. I'll be lucky enough to be on the simulcast pre-race show with Kurt Hoover, so excited to do that. That is going to be an absolutely packed house. Friday, July 18th. If you have the opportunity to get out to Del Mar, please do so. Hit me up. We'll be sure to see you. Jackson, I know you'll be there on opening day through opening weekend, I would hope. But it's going to be fun. It's another year out in paradise, and I just cannot wait.
I'm a little nervous for how many Del Margaritas I'm going to buy this summer. It's going to be a lot of money.
Unfortunately, I can't get us an employee discount on that one.
Yeah, maybe because you are unemployed, you can sneak in some stuff for me.
Maybe, but I won't be sneaking in the alcohol.
Do they check your bag on the way in? I don't know.
No, they don't. Everybody knows me there, so I just kind of walk in. But
my own handles. Love it.
Yeah, it's good that this is a live show and can't be played back at any point. But I'm just kidding. No. Excited to get out to Del Mar. That place is just it's our Christmas, Jackson. Truly, that Thursday before, the week before, there's nothing really like it. The hype is, for me, it's as great, if not greater than when we get ready for Breeders' Cup. Obviously, that is a huge racing festival, but I mean, sorry, I got a 6 hoof, 7 foot, 7 hoof. Sorry, the horse's name. That's got to be one of my favorites. Obviously, an ode to Lil Wayne's song. It's also Katie. It's Lil. It's Lil. It's not little, but we'll give you a pass on that one. All right, Jackson. Race number 6 at Woodbine. We're 6 minutes away. Let's actually talk about the race now. It's a 6-horse field, but a competitive 6-horse field. Your favorite, currently 5-2. And actually, I'll throw up the simulcast feed so we can all look together. What were your thoughts on this race as we're going a mile and a 16th on the poly?
Yeah, you nailed it. It's only 6 horses, but you can really make a case for any of them, and I wouldn't have much argument about it. My top pick was the 6 for 4570. Who right now is favored. She won't be by the time the race goes off. She'll drift up a little bit. The 1 looks like she'll be a pretty clear favorite by post time. That's Liam's Gift. On the morning line, Wickenheiser was a favorite, and that was the horse I was really trying to beat because she just never ever wins. She is the class of the field, but she's 2 for 18. She always settles for a lot of minor awards. I just felt like the 6 4570 was going to get the right kind of trip in here. She's coming out of a grade 3 stakes, much tougher than this. She actually broke horrible. I mean, she lost all chance at the start, kind of rushed up, and then it's just a total toss. I would think we're just going to treat that as a prep race, get back, second start of the year, because she did a lot of good things towards the end of 2024. She beat a couple good allowance fields, beat a nose in a stakes race to end the campaign behind Fashionably Fab. And with this post and with the pace scenario, she's supposed to get a really good trip, just tucked in right behind the speed. I think she's going to have a clear going of it. And if she gets back to that form she showed last year, she should be right there. I mean, her races, like I said, her races at the end of 2024 are better than what everyone has done up to this point. It's just a matter of, can she find that form again?
No doubt. That is Jackson's top play there. Mine is going to be the number 5, Gild the Lily for Mark Casse. Blinkers on for this one. This one's by Arrogate out of a Stormcat mare. Arrogate surprisingly 15% with his synthetic routers. So that's obviously a pretty strong angle for this horse. Doesn't do too well on turf. Very good on dirt, obviously, as to be expected for, who Arrogate was. He's translated that into a sire. You get 9-2 right now on Gild the Lily, which is very fair. This one's second off the bench, as I mentioned, for Mark Casse. Went 7 furlongs on the debut. Obviously, that looks like just a starting off point, as most of this horse's efforts have been routing either on the poly or on the turf. Very consistent horse. I think Blinkers might help this one focus as this one gets the second start to her 4-year-old season. So I'll take Gild the Lily for the late Arrogate to spring a mild upset. Right now, 5-1 looks like is going to go off around 9-2.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is you can make a case for any of them. This is a really good. I know it's only 6 horses, but this is a pretty good betting race. Definitely one I'm going to get involved with. Did you look at the rest of this card? Like, did you have any like a double? Like, because the next race is a stake race with a big favorite. So this, depending on how you felt about the favorite in the next race, I don't know if you looked at it yet, but this would be a race I would think about getting involved with a double.
I just clicked off of it. Let me double check. But do you like anybody in race number 7 as I familiarize myself? I haven't looked at this card since the day that they drew it. But yeah, who did you like in this next upcoming race, the stakes race?
Well, yeah, the next race features Love Servier for Miguel Clement, who, if you all remember, comes out of that turf sprint race over at Belmont, where she won from the clouds and got a really, really good trip that day and was able to get the job done. Again, she got a phenomenal setup, but she's also facing an easier competition in this race. So I was a little iffy about whether I want to try to beat her or not. I think if you do want to bet her, I would want to do it in a double. I think she's 2-1 morning line. I feel like she's going to be like 3-5 against that group. No, I think to try to preserve a little value, you do want to play it in a double. So that would be where I would think about betting her. And if I get alive to her, then I can back up a little bit with something else, keying her like in second or third, or maybe just having win bet on my second choice. But I think for this race starting here, double, I'd probably do a 6-6 double. It's paying 8-1 right now, and you're getting a 5-2 shot over I don't know, even money at worst, probably. That's good business, I think.
That is very good. You know what? I am actually going to try and beat this favorite. I think it's interesting that the Clement stable is going to ship up here, although it's something that they do pretty frequently, I guess, during the summer months. But Barbara Minshall has a second-time starter, Flaunt, who looks to be far and away the lone speed. One going 6.5 on the synthetic. Now goes over to the grass. Well, this one should handle it. Put in a really nice work on June 15th, going 46-4 over the Woodbine training track, the turf course that is. They hit. That is Rafael Hernandez and Barbara Minshall. They hit 57% with nearly a $6 ROI, only from 7 starters. Small sample size, but still worth taking a stab at. That double is paying 47-1 right now for $1 if I'm playing the 5 into the 3. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on that. I might, and then, if I get alive, I'll just ride it out. I'm not going to bet too much on it, but if I'm right, I think I'll get paid. And if I'm wrong, hey, I'm going to lose to Clement Stable, who I'm always going to be rooting for. So nothing against them there. All right, Jackson, we're 1 minute to post, but we do have a guest in the waiting room, and he's going to join us now. And we're going to start talking about Los Al as they kick off their day in about 7 minutes. You know him as California Pick 4. If you follow him on X, friend of Frank Scatoni, they're going to be doing, I believe, a Pick 4 show coming up this summer. But we'll get more details from him as he joins us now. It's Kieran. Kieran, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Yep. How's it going, Ryan? Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you for joining us. Excited to have you join and talk with us. Normally it's Frank that'll be able to join us, and you've been busy. Obviously, I believe we're out at the Derby, and you always have a lot going on, but you've been able to join us for the season finale of the Saturday show. So how's your day going? How's the week going? Are you excited for Los Al?
I usually don't play Los Al, but I've been starting to play a lot of the contests. So I'm known more as a long shot player in contests, and I've been trying to modify how I approach the contests. So I've been using Churchill, and my plan is Los Al to modify how I play. Chase some long shot, or not chase long shots. Go for some of the favorites, do a lot of show bets, try and build a bankroll, and then have it a little larger when I do have a conviction on the card. So I've been playing around a little bit on it. So it's funny you asked me. Usually I don't do Los Al, but I decided this season I'm going to.
I like it. They just broke from the gate, so I'm going to let Robert Geller give us the call, and then we are going to check in with the first 3 races at Los Alamitos.
Bought a bit wide here, 45.70, and last of all is Wickenheiser as they take the turn out the stretch and showing the way. Veery a little bit off the inside, going to second, Gild the Lily. Sharing third is Liam's Gift on the inside, and taken up slightly is Awesome Spirigal the center. On their outside, 45.70, a length and a half away, targeting the pack. Wickenheiser at the back. Veery controlling the pace early on. A little bit of pressure coming from Gild the Lily as they head towards the 5 furlongs. They're out by a length and a half. And over on the inside, Liam's Gift shading. On the inside, Awesome Spirigal's the center. And up on the outer, 45.70, and about 3 away last, Wickenheiser. They quicken as they race towards the half mile. Showing out in front is Veery from Gild the Lily. On the inside, Liam's Gift has saved every inch of ground. A wide trip here for 45.70. Up in the center, Awesome Spirit Gal. Still about 3 away last, Wickenheiser. The half was 47-4. As Juan Flores is opening up on them here. Veery by a couple, and seeing a danger is Liam's Gift. And now after this leader, Ryan Munger on Liam's Gift, targeting Veery. Veery by a length to Liam's Gift as they come to the final quarter. And Wickenheiser's running on well. 45.70 struggling. Awesome Spirit Gal holding third as they turn, and Veery in front. Liam's Gift second from Awesome Spirit Gal and Wickenheiser, and Very shot away again. Very by about 3 lengths to Liam's Gift, Awesome Spirit Gal, and down inside the furlong, Very well ahead. Liam's Gift in second, Wickenheiser the inside, Awesome Spirit Gal boxing on at 45.70. But there's Juan Flores in full flight with Very, and a very impressive winner. Very.
Interesting.
There it is. Very interesting race. One wire to wire. My 5 did absolutely no running, so we don't need to talk about it too much more.
Well, there's 3 speed horses in the race, and then when 2 of them don't go, one all alone, that's what happens pretty often. The 8-1 winner, 1 speed.
Pretty much 8-1 alone on the front end is your winner. All right, Kieran, we're going to go back out to you now. The first 3 races at Los Alamitos is what we're going to be covering today. We start in about 3 minutes. First race is 5 furlong, 2-year-old maiden special weight race for Open Company. Your current favorite, no surprise, I'm sure, 1-2 St. Petersburg for Bob Baffert. How do you participate, or what is your participation rather in these baby races this early on in the season?
I'm usually not a fan of them, but usually it's a race I would toss. But I mean, the Baffert's going to get all the money. What is he, 1-2 right now?
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have the usual flashy works. I mean, he might blow these horses away, but with the Baffert horses, if they're not burning it up in the morning, sometimes they're a little suspect. And that gigantic runway at the end of the race there, some of these horses go, wait, where's the line? So I'm going to try and beat. I'm playing in the contest today, the Twin Spires contest. So I'm going all in on 1 ticket on this race. And I'm actually going with the number 5, Sleeper Sullivan. Yeah. They're shipping in from Gulfstream. So that's the one concern I have, because why race here and not go for the ship and win at Del Mar, next month. So that's the one little red flag, but they put Edwin on. Mendez has got 2 in here. Bullet works, blinkers on. I mean, that's why you put Edwin on. You put him on, he's going to get out of the gate and just fly. And Mendez, when he puts the blinkers on, does really, really well. So we're actually getting a better price than I thought. I thought I was going to get 4-1. So in my contest, I'm doing $30 win on the 5 and a $30 show on the 8. So I'm hoping the Baffert at least makes it into the money. And that's the way. I mean, there's the O'Neill horse, the number 1, obviously getting money. He's been ice cold, though. He started heating up. So that's when he starts heating up, especially when it's coming into Del Mar, you kind of got to pay attention. He was kind of slow all season, but he's starting to heat up now. The other Mendes work, our horse is number 2, my Morini. Bullet works, but I ended up going for the higher price one here, Sleeper Sullivan.
Ryan, I don't know if you remember this horse, but this is the one I texted you guys last Sunday that I'm going to unload. When I was at the paddock, I'm going to hammer this horse at Santa Anita, and he threw the rider in the post parade. That was against Calbreds. He was taking all kinds of money on Sunday, and they scratched in the post parade. Now he shows up here, probably against a tougher field, but I do think he's an interesting horse for sure. This horse is the reason I'm not playing this race in the contest, because he scares me.
I like it. Yeah, that's good insight. You did text us about it for sure. I do remember that a little bit. Yeah, Luis Mendez obviously very strong with his 2-year-old crop. And Kieran, you mentioned this Baffert does not have those flashy bullets or even 3, 4, 5 best of however many. This one's in the 13s and the 60s and the 90s and the this one is not showing the that typical Baffert speed that we see early. By constitution, the dam is definitely maybe a little bit precocious, not too many runners, but of the 2 runners that this one has produced to get to the track, 1 winner and 1 in second. Neither have done a whole lot of running elsewhere, though. But maybe this one can win. But I like your bet to show in the tournament, and then your other bet on I believe it was the 5 to just try and beat this Baffert outright. Certainly not going to talk you off of something like that. As we get a little,
this horse costs $700K, but it's an interesting spot for them, especially without the flashy. 51 at 57 for a Baffert horse, that even the ones he drops in the claimers don't race that bad in the morning. So we'll see.
They're loading in. They are still betting it. They'll always bet a Baffert. If there's one thing I'm sure about in California, it's that Baffert will always take money. Even he could throw out just a donkey among racehorses, then they'd still bet him down to 2 to 5.
Tell you what, if he's not taking money, it is the biggest red flag you're ever going to see in horse racing, because
the pools aren't that big either. So I think there's only 21K.
Yeah, 38,000 total in the win pool. 21 of that is on the Baffert. That's your number 6, St. Petersburg. They're in the gate. They're about to break. We're not going to show the race, but I'll call it. I won't do my best Michael Rona call, but racing. You have out in front. It looks to be the Doug O'Neill Reiner Punto 40 with the 2 My Maroney for Luis Mendez taking the lead now as they head into the turn. With back in third, this camera angle is not doing me any favors, L. Rankin. St. Petersburg is in fourth, making a moving forward into third now as they're around the far turn. The 2, My Maroney still in first. The 1, Punto 40, now making a move in for the lead. Then out in third is St. Petersburg making a wide move as they turn into the top of the stretch. The quarter was in 22 flat. Punto 40 is taking the lead and looks pretty strong up front. St. Petersburg looks to be hanging on his left lead, is swerving all over the track right now. Punto 40 is traveling really nicely as they're about halfway through this long airport-like stretch right now. Punto 40 looks to have this one well in hand. St. Petersburg just green and all over the place as this one is finishing up. The 4, L. Rankin's going to finish in second. St. Petersburg in third, but your winner is Punto 40 for Team O'Neill as they continue to heat up as we get closer to Del Mar.
Well, I guess I'm about to load up another ticket on this contest.
There we go. No harm in that.
You're playing in the because there's 2 today.
Yeah,
In the cash.
I'm playing in the, I think, which one is it? They've got the larger one, the $60 one.
Right. Okay. Because they seeded the cash one. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Oh, I
They
didn't know.
They seeded it with $500. So I was like, oh,
okay.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Kieran, as we approach Del Mar, I asked Jackson this question just before you hopped on and joined us. What is your favorite day at the Del Mar Summer Meet? And then in terms of contests, as you're a big contest player, what is your favorite kind of contest to participate in? Obviously, we have a bunch from the Little Red Feather contest to the Pacific Classic. What is your favorite one there? But what's your favorite day at Del Mar? We'll start with that.
Oh, well, opening day always. Well, opening day is probably second. My favorite race day is when Gold Phoenix races in the Eddie Reed. And then the Del Mar handicap. So, every year we get to those big race days, and that's usually when the contests are. What's funny is when I have to go make the declaration, they always go, this horse always races when there's a contest at Del Mar.
Always be races, Eddie Reed and Del Mar handicap. And
yep, every year it's planned for the last 4. Yep. And then, of course, the Little Red Feather one, if people haven't played it, that's how I won my first NHC seat, was playing the Little Red Feather charity tournament. So that's always a great one to get into.
Without a doubt. I asked Jackson. Jackson's favorite day was opening day. And obviously that's one of my favorites as well. But I think my number one for the year is just the Pacific Classic Day card in general is always one I look forward to. It's always, when we see our best horses out on the West Coast kind of show up. But that's what we have to look forward to at Del Mar. And we don't need to talk tournament strategy as we pivot back to Los Alamitos, but let's just talk about kind of the race shape and how we think things are going to form up. Kieran, the next race we have is race number 2. It's a state bred 6 furlong for 3-year-olds and upwards, maiden $50,000 claimers. What do you see with this race? And more importantly, I guess we'll start with this. I know for maidens, it's not as common to see, but when you see horses that have run at Los Alamitos, can you speak to the importance of kind of a horse for course type angle with that very unique stretch run?
At least they get familiarity with it. Some horses, if they've raced other tracks and then they get there and they get around the turn and they're thinking, there's only 1 furlong left and it's half the track left. There's 4 furlongs. They're probably going, where's the line? So definitely an advantage. Sometimes you'll see, and I guess later in the card today, there's some horses that are first-time dirt, but they're based at Los Al by Miller. So you'll have a lot of guys who will probably toss it because it's first-time dirt at Los Al, but then the horse works out there in the morning. So I don't think it really matters. They've got the advantage on some of these other horses. I know one of our horses that's racing opening weekend just trains at Los Al too, and he's a turf horse. So,
okay. Now, do you think for Los Alamitos specifically with that long stretch, do you think it's what do you think is the bigger advantage? A horse having familiarity over the course, or the jockey being familiar with how long that stretch is to be sure not to kind of push the button, so to speak, too early?
I'm always one, you can have the best horse and the jockey can mess it up or help a best horse. But then sometimes, the horse takes over. So it's kind of a toss. I don't really have one over the other. I'd say it's about 50-50. But I mean, it always helps when you've got some familiarity on that long stretch.
Definitely does. Jackson, how about you? Do you put any weight into one over the other, or is it just you just kind of throw both of those out the window?
I mean, it's kind of a case by case basis. I mean, it's more race flow than anything. You kind of just got to go back by that. I will say the turns there are really tight. As long as the stretch is, I mean, the turns are very, very sharp. So that's why you see some horses when they do take the turns well, they can just glide up the fence and they can cut a significant corner right there, because you see it happen sometimes, especially in those little 5.5 furlong sprints that they have with their quarter, not the quarter horses, but the horses coming out of the 1,000-yard races that are used to those really tight turns. That's kind of when they make their little advantage.
Yeah, and that's why the rail, I think, is like 35% or something. So, if they can cut it, they have a big advantage. And, you turn the corner and the horse is 2 or 3 lengths when they were right next to them going into it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Jackson, we'll stick with you for a second. Race number 2, 6 furlongs, maiden, $50,000 claimers. How'd you see race 2 at Los Al?
Yeah, this is where I make my contest play. I'm double-barreled in one of them. Nothing fancy at all. I'm playing the 7 here. It looks like the speed of the speed. Good post draw. Ran well last time while wide. It didn't look like a very deep race. So I'm just playing the 7. A couple doubles into the choices in the race after that. Trying to get some capital, and we'll see what happens.
I like it. Kieran, how did you see race number 2 at Los Alamitos shaping up?
I'm going win show on number 1, Legal Moosh. I mean, you're number 7. There's not much you can say. I mean, looks great on paper. But the second choice, number 5, Uncle Eveco, drops in class. But the jockey and the trainer are ice cold, and that's one of those things I'll pay attention to, especially, you want him to be heating up going to Del Mar, not continuing to be chilly. So that's one of those things. I mean, he might beat me, but I'm not going to use him. I liked the number 1. I really like the angle. This horse was fractious in the gate last time, so they gelded him. And gelded on May 10th. Now check the work since May 10th. 5 bullet works in a row. So, head is clear perhaps on that horse, and hopefully we'll get a decent price on the rail, which is where you want to be. So I think should get a good price there. At least I'm hoping I get a good price, because that's going to be my next contest. I might be out of here in 2 races.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you.
I mean, you got to have an opinion, and you got to hammer it. If you have a strong opinion, you can't be betting minimums. It does you absolutely no good. And you see you can see like contest plays. You see a lot of people doing that, and just like you have almost no chance playing that way. I mean, you got to hit what you like the best. And
yeah, I've done that on some contests, and I've just slowly bled myself as I did that. And then when I get to the race that I could have hammered, I'm like, if I had that extra $100, that would have been the difference between me getting a contest prize.
Right.
100%.
Jackson, we're approaching the gate for race number 7 at Belmont at the Big A. Quickly, it is a 7-horse field with a coupled entry to the inside with the 1 and the 1A. How did you see this race, and are you going to participate in the late pick 5 that starts here?
Believe it or not, I played my 4th pick 6 of the year, so I'm alive in pick 6. The 6 was my top pick in this race. I thought he could be the lone speed towards the outside, a little chilly on the board. But I thought he might get the lead, got the best to the post draw. He would be my top pick. I did throw in your 5, though, because I thought that horse was a little interesting. And I saw you liked a couple other people I was talking to earlier also made a case for the 5. So I doubled up there. We talked about it earlier. I'm against that 3, even though he's even money. He's been beating turf horses. So let's see him do it against some dirt horses. And with maybe not as favorable as a pace scenario as well. So 5-6 here for me, hoping to get out of this race.
I like it. That race starts in 1 minute. I will use the 5 and the 6 in my pick 6 as well that I played. Jackson, I made a mistake earlier as we were talking, which I was rushing as we had started the show. Was trying to throw in the pick 6. I messed up my notes. The 7 Dark Magic in that mile maiden 30 race for Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado is supposed to be the single. I singled Omaha Pistol instead. I guess.
See, I saw that, and I was going to give you a hard time about it, but it was like they're going to the gate. I'm like, okay, I won't say anything. But I
was making the ticket, and I was like, I know I'm forgetting something because we covered these races on Thursday, and so I feel like so many days have gone by since that moment. So my pick 5 ticket's going to obviously be singling Dark Magic for Bill Mott in that 3rd leg, but man, I can't. I'm kicking myself for just forgetting something so simple.
Well, I did even worse yesterday at Los Al. I had the late pick 4 and fat thumbed the wrong number on my single, and it was a $4 pick 4. and I had it multiple times. I ended up paying like $330.
It paid really well yesterday. For what
It
one,
did
it paid really well.
The pays have actually, I mean, small sample size, but I was surprised at the pays even on the favorites yesterday. So pays are looking good so far.
Yeah.
They are looking good.
That's what's going to happen when you have the dollar minimums. I mean, it changes so much. And yesterday had some pretty big fields too. And I think they do in today's late pick 4 as well. So when you have the dollar minimum, it changes everything. Everything pays way better than it should.
We're loading into the gate right now at Belmont at the Big A. So I'll give us the race call as this race breaks in just about a minute here, maybe even a little bit less. And then Kieran, I got some other questions for you both as it pertains to Los Al. And then, a little bit about yourself and what you and Frank Scatoni do in terms of pick 4 coverage throughout the time as I guess Jackson's going to take a beat. As who knows where he just disappeared to. But they're in the gate at Belmont at the Big A, so I'll call the race real quick. They just broke out of the gate. 3 Captains looks to break on top, along with the 6 Dear Chairman from the outside. Back in third's the number 5 Corvus. To that one's inside is 2 horses, Toscano and Bad Larry. Then against the rail is Ja Mode for Kendrick Carmouche. But up on the lead is Dear Chairman, who has the lead by, it looks like, about half a length. To that one's outside moves Toscano. To that one's outside is the number 5 Corvus, but up on the lead through a corner in 21.15 is Dear Chairman. To that one's outside again. Toscano stocks in second. Back up in third is the coupled entry with the 1A 3 Captains just ahead in front of John Mode. To that one's outside is Corvus, and out the back is the number 2. Whose name is blanket from my memory. But up front, it's Dear Chairman. They just passed the half in 45.39 seconds. They're moving around the far turn now. Dear Chairman still a clear length in front. Toscano is niggled upon for some effort and starts to make up a little bit of ground. Corvus to that one's outside, starting to make a bit of a run as they near the top of the stretch. Chris Elliott seems to still have his hands full of Dear Chairman, who is currently 3-1. That one in first. In second is Toscano as they turn for home. Chris Elliott shakes up Dear Chairman and gets a response. That one kicks off by about a length. Toscano still in second. Back in third is Ja Mode. They're down the stretch 3/4 in 109.67 seconds. Dear Chairman, still plenty of horse. Toscano is making a run to this one's outside. It's between these two. Back in third is Ja Mode. Dear Chairman got the jump. Dear Chairman's going to see it out, win by about a length and a half, almost 2 lengths here over the 3 Toscano in second. Jackson, we're moving on.
Who won?
The 6.
And I wasted money putting the 5 in there. That's dumb. We're good.
That's what you get for listening to me. I listen to you, and I'm a winner.
I never, ever listen to you. The one time I do. Come on, bro.
Isn't that always how it works? But the 6, Dear Chairman, for Chris Elliott gets on the board as my pick 6 rolls on. Same with Jackson's. And if you play the pick 5, hopefully you use that 6 as well. All right. Kieran, I mentioned I have more questions for you. Obviously, Frank Scatoni, big friend of myself and Jackson's. He's been a big supporter of both our channel, our work, everything that we've done. What do you and Frank have going on for Del Mar this year? I know you both love that late pick 4.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and this year they've got a bunch of new bets as well. They got a late double, late pick 3. So they always are doing something new with, especially low takeout. And those low takeout bets make a world of difference.
They
Especially
sure do.
that track where the fields are really loaded, so you don't need to hit a whole lot to get paid pretty big on those with those large fields.
That's right. $5 late double, $3 late pick 3, both with 15% takeout. Round of applause to getting those pushed through. Obviously, we've gotten used to those at Santa Anita as they introduced those, and now we get them at the best course in the country at Del Mar for this summer. So I'm excited to be able to participate in that. And that always, it's nonstop action pretty much. And correct me if, are we $2 pick 6 at Del Mar? Or is it the $1?
I can't remember. I haven't looked to see all the other. It's probably 1.
I thought it was the $1 as well, but I can't remember. I'm just happy that all the Southern California tracks are away from this 20-cent jackpot nonsense. And we've gotten back into the traditional or the $1.
Just let the robot guys cover every possible combination under the sun. So, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm certainly guilty of playing that 20-cent. Huh?
That doesn't scare Ryan away, believe me.
No, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I get lured in if it's a track like Churchill with 850,000 in the carryover pool. Sometimes I just have to throw a line out there and see.
Tell you what, that could get taken down tonight. I mean, there are 6 very deep
hard.
races. I have zero interest in even trying to attempt to take that thing down. But if someone's paying a $4,000 ticket like they do, that tonight could be one of those days it gets taken.
Yeah, I
It
looked at
easily
that.
could
The
be.
Churchill card tonight looks really, really tough.
It does. And if you're on the East Coast, it's going to be even tougher because the feature race goes off at just over 10 p.m. So, drink some coffee and be ready for a long night of racing, as they are still just under 2 hours till first post with that special Twilight Saturday card, which
I had to do a double
yeah.
take because I thought it was.
Yeah.
I was like, why are they putting San Diego time on the races? And I was,
Kieran, I thought the
we're
exact
used to
same
getting
thing.
up at like 6 and 7 in the morning for some of those East Coast tracks.
Exactly. Yeah. On those big days out at Saratoga, it's like, 7:30 a.m. post. It's like, all right, I guess sleeping in on a Saturday is not what I'm doing this time.
Yep.
But either way, all right, we've spoken a little bit about Los Al. Are you and Frank, so correct me again, or remind me again, you guys going to be covering, doing some sequences, doing some shows, covering the late pick 4, and then as well as those 2 new wagers featuring the low 15% takeout?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're still working out the details, so we're pulling it all together here.
I like it. Well, whenever that becomes official, myself and Jackson are going to be tuning in. You two are very sharp. Obviously, Frank is a big user of Optics EQ, which he uses in a lot of his kind of daily write-ups to sharpen his handicapping angles. Do you also use Optics? And if so, how do you like it?
I do not use Optics, believe it or not. I'm a Race Lens and Brisnet guy. I always have been.
There we go.
So
Okay.
I kind of switch back and forth between the two. I mean, everyone says the data is the same, but they calculate a little different. So, I mean, I like melding that together. I mean, I don't use computer programs. I'm old school. I read the form. Well, it's the form on the PC or the laptop now, but I just look at all the information and then decide who I'm going with or not. I don't have a computer program spitting out my horses for me.
Yeah, when I'm at Del Mar, I love having a paper program in my hand or a paper form. It just makes me feel good. Gives me something to hit against my hand as I'm rooting for my horses coming down. I can't hit my MacBook against my hand; it would explode. That's a way too expensive of a mistake. Got to use the old paper, the newspaper in the hand.
So Frank told me, which college did you graduate from?
GCU, Grand Canyon.
Oh, okay. You saw why I was wearing this, right?
I did see that. That's where this guy went.
JJ Spawn, baby, woohoo!
Wouldn't you guys like one of those?
Yeah, we would. Hey, look, listen, the antelopes are prancing, okay? But no, Jackson went to SDSU.
I will say, one
He's your
time
guy.
Grand Canyon played us at Viejas, and they had a decent crowd there. They had a nice little student section there that drove out there. They were really loud the first 5 minutes, and then we whooped them, and they went away quietly. But you know what? We got a really good program.
Well, they actually beat San Diego State the year we went to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
It was a big wake up for the team. And we traveled to that game in Arizona, and that is one rabid fan base, let me tell you. They were sitting out for hours trying to get in.
Yeah.
They were. That's one of those fan bases where basketball is really the only thing we had to cheer for there. So had to give it up to them. But yeah, no, obviously they're fantastic. But yeah, Jackson here is the SDSU guy. And you yelled out JJ Spawn. And if we're going to talk about the US Open real quick, I turned that on. That was on Father's Day. I turned that on. And only reason I don't watch golf a whole lot, I'll be honest, but the only reason I turned that on was because they're playing at Oakmont, and there was so much buzz on social media about how hard they made that course. And I was like, okay, if I'm gonna watch golf, I'd like to see professionals get frustrated nonstop. So the amount of club throws that I saw, the amount of club spikes, the amount of just hot mic F-bombs that were heard, that made it all worth it to me. And obviously seeing JJ Spawn nail that putt from like 60 something feet. When he had 2, he did it in 1. That was incredible. And just like golf, less than a week later, he's paired up with Scotty Scheffler and he's down 11. So, golf is a fantastic sport through and through. But I'm happy JJ.
Best shot you ever had to the worst shot you ever made. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's golf. That's what keeps people like me coming back is, occasionally I'll birdie a hole and then I'll go right back and I'll go +7 on the next one. So it's all about the ups and downs. And it's very similar to horse racing.
I always make fun of my uncle when I go to his house because he has a scorecard up there, and he took like a 10 on one hole, and then the very next hole he got a hole in one. I'm like, how the hell did you go from a 10 to a hole in one on the very next hole? You got to just
my golf score is
golf,
based
baby.
on how many balls I find or lose. That's what my score is on each round.
Yeah, that works too. Usually at least 5.
5's a pretty good number. I'm always the over of whatever I plan to lose. I'm always way over that number. But we'll pivot back to horse racing. Kieran, as you and Jackson are both in these live tourneys, Obviously, you don't have to give any like game theory or any major strategies away. But I'm curious, what is your kind of preferred tournament? Do you prefer the live money? Do you prefer the NHC where it's the live win place, or are you a fan at all of the pick and pray format?
Each has, I think live money is the best. NHC, the pick and pray. Yeah. I mean, I've chased the tour last year. I was as high as 2, finished 8. That's it. You know, did that onward to the Breeders' Cup. I almost didn't get into the Breeders' Cup last year. Focused on the NHC tour. I'm not going to make that mistake this year. So live money is what my goal is always that. And I love the feeders to get into the live money ones. Like I don't like paying into the live money contests. I try to win my entry in. And
I like
I've
that.
had pretty good luck doing that. So hopefully, touch wood, I keep it up. And I mean, if someone looking at, for example, my favorite one is the 2-day one at Del Mar, the $6,000 buy-in. It's just a great tournament. You can't do it online. You got to be on track. Just a great tournament. But there's always feeders to get in. I mean, I got in the last 3 years. Last year it was on the Friday one, the day before, $384 entry.
Go. I see.
You don't. I mean, allocate a little bit of money for those feeders. It's well worth it. You'd be surprised. Sometimes people will be playing one of the other contests, and all the big shots won't be playing, and it's an easy way to get in. Or, you'd be surprised. Sometimes it only takes one big long shot to win some of those.
Yeah, truly.
I remember that Friday one last year. You must have there was a 2-horse that blew up the toe in a turf race.
There was actually 3 or 4 of them, and I ended up being my second entry, and I'd done the research on the first, and the second was, well, I golfed with Ricky this week. I'm going to put his bomber in, and that was the big one that hit. It was that kind of on the other one. So it wasn't the professional handicapper one that won it, which is usually how it is.
Yeah. Hey, it worked though. It worked.
Hey, by any means necessary. However you get to the winner's circle, you just got to get there. And you mentioned those not lower level, but the qualifiers and the feeders that lead into those big contests. That's what you got to do. You can use those as practice, kind of get your feet underneath you. And then if you qualify for one of those $2,000 contests or, above even, that's fantastic. You bought your way in for a fraction of the price, and now you're playing with house money. And that's what every gambler loves to do. Yeah.
And even these cheap, small money, less than $100 live tournaments, I'm using those now to tweak how I'm going to play. So it's a great way to see what's working, what doesn't. It's not a whole lot of money while I'm experimenting with different ways of playing. Like I was always a win only guy. And now I found, hey, that show bet on the Baffert horse in the first race, I got the money back, and there's a minimum out of the way and I have my money back. So then I don't have to worry about getting through the minimums late in the day. I mean, last year I made a big boo-boo. I didn't meet the minimum on the Breeders' Cup because we had a trifecta and a horse scratch, you know what I mean? But I'd waited till the last race and I couldn't, I didn't have a minimum done. So I was kind of screwed.
Damn. Yeah. But that's an important little wrinkle that's in racing is meeting your minimums in those tournaments. I don't want to take the conversation off of these tournaments, but we're approaching the gate for a nice stakes race out at Woodbine. So I feel like we should talk about it a little bit as we're approaching post time. Jackson, you mentioned the 6 Love Severe is your top pick, currently even money. And if you like this horse coming from the clouds, that's certainly got to be an attractive price, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little short for me. I did play this race a little bit. I pivoted to the 7 over the 6. I thought the 7 was an interesting horse. Paired up with Fire Tops, improving sort. I just wasn't completely sold that the 6 is going to get the same setup she did last time. Even money, like I think I said earlier, if she was really 2-1, yeah, I'd play her. I think even money's a little short though, so not spending a whole lot. Gonna do a little 7 over the 6. Hope the 7 can get the jump, and the 6 comes a little too late. Just a little exact. Nothing too crazy this spot.
I like it. I'm gonna play on exact as well. I'm going to play the 3 over the 6. I think the 3 looks to be pretty loose on the lead, and I think that could go a long way in a race like this. Just faced, obviously Love Severe just got a dream setup, and we're going to talk about another race at Belmont at the Big A with 2 horses who got absolutely perfect setups in their last race, and they're coming back in just a few minutes here. So this is one I wanted to give a shot to. Maiden winner last out into stakes competition. Obviously, that's not an easy step to make, but it is at least a vote of confidence. So I want to see if the 3 Flaunt can carry that form into this race and keep going up top. Again, Lasix remain on as this is Woodbine. They don't follow the HISA rules. So they are going to be, I don't know, they'll be the beyond Lasix. I guess I didn't really.
I will
have
say
anywhere else to go with
that
that.
3 on the debut took advantage of an extreme bias that day on May 25th. A couple horses came out of that and did regress a little bit, but that was still her first start. She is still loose in the lead. I'm not going to try to talk you off of her too much at 9-2 on a lone speed.
Horse that's interesting is down on the rail for Mark Cassidy, Patrick Husbands. That's Personify, making a 3-year-old debut. Had a couple good runs as a 2-year-old that have buyer speed figures and time form figs that at least get close to what a lot of this group has run. So that's one maybe to keep an eye on, as this one's going to debut as a 3-year-old in stakes competition. Currently 9-2. Fired a bullet work on June 12th. Best of 29, going 47-4 for the 4 furlong panel.
That's the one I jumped on too. Just looking at it real quick, I'd be
nice.
all over the one.
I like it. So Kieran's on the 1. Jackson is on the 7. I'm on the 3. Best of luck. Robert Geller will give us the call as soon as I remember to unmute it.
Severe pinged the best and is wanting that lead with Flaunt, who's gone to the front narrowly. Love Severe on the outside, sitting second, and over on the rail, Personify, and Awesome Women is right there in the center, or American Women, I should say, and on the outside, going up towards the leaders, Arctic Velocity. It Ain't Two got behind that pack, and 3 lengths away is Social Code second last, and Bound to Be True is at the back. It's Flaunt who shows the way by a length to Love Severe and Personify the inside of Arctic Velocity. Getting back now, American Women, and trying to run for the back. Bound to Be True around the outside of Social Code, and just ahead is 8 Ain't Two. They come down inside the 7/16 and kicking away. Flaunt opens the lead to a length and a half to Love Severe. The top 2 floating along with beautiful strides. A length away third, Personify. American Women's come alive. And around the outside, Arctic Velocity as they corner. It Ain't Two looks for room. And as they turn for home, Flaunt leads the way in the alley. Wow. Chased home by Love Severe. And down the outside is American Women. And Love Severe ranges up to Flaunt and now accelerates and has gone up and hit the front. Down the outside of the track, It Ain't Two is tearing home as Love Severe races clear. On the outside, It Ain't Two's making a bid. Love Severe for Eric Cancel, racing out in front. In second, It Ain't Two. And what a polished display by Love Severe, a dominant winner of the Alley Wow, presented by Greenwood Stakes by 2.
Well, that was the 6, Love Severe, your winner. How about the 5, It Ain't Two? Running a huge race for Riley Mott.
9-5 on the winner.
9-5, sorry. Yeah, 9-5 on the winner.
I would have bet 9-5. I thought it was me even money. Oops.
I didn't think Love Severe was going to sit that close to the pace there, but hey, good on Love Severe. Good job on Eric Cancel for having that horse close. That always means a lot. 2 minutes away from Los Alamitos race number 2. Shane O'Neill needed the 5. That is our resident Woodbine guy, apparently, because when he was on the show a few weeks ago, he was picking winners nonstop at Shane O'Neill. Or I should say, he was picking horses that were crossing the wire first, as he had a rough DQ in there. But hey, we don't need to bring that up as I just do. Jackson, we're approaching the gate at Monmouth for race number 8, and then we're going to pivot back out to Los Alamitos. But as we are bringing you live coverage from these 2 tracks, feels like we should cover it. They're loading in the gate. I put a win bet on the 5. 5-2 is a decently fair price for a pretty wide open race here. Second choice, your favorites down on the rail to number 1. Yeah, Shane, no problem. Happy to always remind you. But hey, at least you weren't picking chalk, my man. At least you weren't on that Noah Maher train. So, you can hang your hat on that one. Jackson, did you have any strong opinions in here? I think you were 5-9 in the pick 4.
I was 5-9 to pick 4. 5's a little short for a win bet, so I'd probably pivot to the 9. Just a little action bet on the 9. Come back, but it's going well fresh and should get a decent trip.
This 5 is a horse that, has been closing into some decent paces, but gets blinkers on. So I'm hoping that just kind of helps this one sharpen up, get some forward position. Kieran, I don't know if you've looked at this race at Monmouth, but if you have, do you have any thoughts?
I did not look at this race at all.
That's okay. We'll pivot back out to Los Alamitos right after this race and start talking about them, as they are about 2 minutes from post time for that 6 furlong.
We're both in the gate at the same time, so.
Of course they are. Noah, you are getting flamed because it's not what you say, it's what you do. Actions speak louder than words, brother. Also, if you're gonna pretend to be at work, why are you not on the show? As the 8 breaks through the gate, I hope Jockey is okay. Jockey came off there. 1 second here. I'm just gonna check in at Los Alamitos. And they're off actually at Los Al. So let me see if I can get the horses that are running and get us going. Currently, the 6 is up top at 45-1. Second place was the 3. Outside is the 7 at even money, trying to make a run. Down on the rail is the number 1 at 7-2. But currently, the leader is 45-1, going around the turn, has the lead by about a length. Has certainly sent it. That's T1D Floor Free. Wow, what a name. You can pick anything a little bit easier. But that one has the lead as they turn for home. Getting swarmed now for, man, I can't even tell. This is just a terrible camera angle. I think it's the 3 that has the lead, Bazooka Charlie. But to that one's outside is the 5, Uncle Evco. But now Seeger Man splits those 2 and comes running. It's 3 across the track as they have about, 2 miles left of this stretch. They're coming down. It's Uncle Evco. It's Seeger Man. They're nose bobbing on the wire, but it's going to go to the 7 Seeger Man to win it. That is Los Al. That went 7-5, and I did not see who finished in third. And now we'll go back out to Mon.
Two-stepping Kluge.
Oh, there we go, Shane. Look at Shane spreading the love to Noah. Yeah, Noah, congrats on the TDN job. That part is exciting. I won't flame you for that.
And I'm on fire once again today, showing those hard-to-control antics. He's on a stronghold to settle down. Now does so, gets into the bridle with 5 furlongs to go. I'm on fire, third on the rail, 2.5 lengths behind. Length and a half to Tasted Racing alone in fourth. Sandpipes, hard to control. He's very keen behind horses here. On the inside, Shrug is making a very early move. There goes Shrug. He was about 7th or 8th moment ago. He's third now, approaching the turn, and Mickey Shalala is following his move in the 3-path, rounding the 4-turn run. Then comes See the Truth, plummeting back to third last. Two-stepping Kluge and Happy Cat are the trailers. Coming to the top of the stretch, Shy to Runner. He's 95-1. Still has the lead from Shrug, who tips outside, is right up to challenge that front runner at the top of the lane. I'm on fire on the far outside. He gets outside in third. 2 behind with 1 furlong to go. Shy to Runner running a huge race at a massive number. Here comes I'm on fire. Shrug between them. Shrug, Shy to Runner, outside. I'm on fire. I'm on fire gets there. I'm on fire.
That's chalk at 9-5. I believe were the off odds. Let me double 6-5 for I'm on fire. Paco Lopez. No surprise there as he gets the win, as he typically does at Monmouth Park. You know, the call of Matt Dinnerman reminded me we do have one update for this. Oh, nice. Sorry, I got to keep throwing.
How long have I been on mute?
Man,
even ignore me the last 2 minutes. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, for quite some time. Yeah, you've been muted for quite some time because I just figured you were giving us some silence. But hey, it's nice to hear your voice again.
Yeah.
As Matt Dinnerman was giving the call. Go ahead.
That's the worst. Yeah, this 12-horse field grass race, super competitive, and 6-5 wins. Come on.
Yeah,
of course, right.
So boring.
Well, even the last at Los Al, like we were saying, the 5 should have won that race. But ice cold trainer and ice cold jockey, you know what I mean? When sometimes they get in their own head. Sometimes,
definitely, confidence plays such a huge part of this game. Is it goes such a long way, and there's always ebbs and flows, ups and downs to it from the trainer's perspective, and jockeys surely is photos sometimes go your way, sometimes they don't, but water always seems to find its level. As Matt Dinnerman was giving us the race call, that reminded me of something that I hadn't thought about until the announcement was made. But we aren't going to hear the voice of Trevor Denman at Del Mar anymore, as he is obviously happily retired. I believe he has in Minnesota. He's just out enjoying life, I would imagine. So we get Larry Colmus, just a Hall of Fame level race caller who calls the Triple Crown race on NBC. Certainly no slouch in the announcer's booth. Excited to hear him, but obviously we're gonna miss Trevor Denman, as he just was a legend in the game. His voice was so unique. My X handle is after the call of Flightline, 20 lengths clear. Kieran, as a fan of Del Mar racing, and of course, I would imagine Trevor Denman being up there among your top race callers, do you have a call that sticks out to you in terms of a favorite?
There's been just
not to put you on the spot. Sorry, just
there's been so many I couldn't really pull one out. It's just his sayings are what does it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just the most unique. Here they come from the all those just perfectly timed words, when the horse goes, and it gives you the goosebumps when you hear it. He just was so good over the years.
Wings. Yep. The more he asked, the more he gave. Just anything like that. Always incredible race calls. Yeah, you mentioned it. The sayings were really what made him such a legend in the game. Jackson, how about you? I gotta throw it out to you. I feel like I know what your answer may be, but It's probably going to be up there with one of my favorites too.
It's the classic 09.
Yeah.
Best call ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
I'll say though, it's going to be very, very weird not having him there this summer. I mean, that's what I grew up on, which is listening to Trevor, and it's going to be an adjustment for sure.
It is. If you grew up watching racing in Del Mar, Trevor Denman's the voice that you heard. Obviously, the last couple of years, we've kind of gotten used to hearing Larry Colmus in the fall. And obviously, he calls the Breeders' Cup races. So, or he has at least recently out on the West Coast. So that's maybe a voice that we're a little bit more familiar with. So, obviously, we're going to miss Trevor Denman, though, on the mic, as he was always a legend up there. I got to say, mine has to be the Pacific Classic. In terms of calls I've heard live, it would have to be Flightline's Pacific Classic. I mentioned my X handle, but just you could hear in his voice just the emotion of what a special horse that was to see Flightline run. Flightline an embarrassing lead. You might want to look at this one. We'll never see this one again. I might have butchered that one, but I'll paraphrase it. But yeah, no, just an incredible race caller from top to bottom, and I'm sure we'll hear a couple homages to him throughout the summer meet at Del Mar. Kieran, we'll let you go here in a second, but before we do, obviously, we'll see you out at Del Mar. I'd imagine you'll be up on Frank Scatoni's show at least a couple times throughout this summer's meet. I hope you and Frank get something going for these either the late pick 4 or these fantastic new wagers Del Mar's bringing with the 15% takeout for the $3 late pick 3, the $5 late daily double. Hope you guys are doing something to promote that. If you are, one of you reach out to me. I'll be sure to promote that as often as I can as well, because we love promoting everything out at Del Mar and certainly anything you and Frank are up to. But where can the people find you out and about on social media?
California Pick 4, usually on Twitter. I've started moving towards Instagram now because the daughter says only old men are on Twitter. So,
well, that's horse racing.
So I'm dragging my people over to Instagram now. So trying to do a little bit more. But even when she does her stuff, I'm like, where is this post you put? Stories and reels and all this other stuff. I'm sounding really old here, but I just haven't used it that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you at all. Yeah, it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment period. Yeah, it's like the 6 whip rule. Now we got to adjust. It's all about making adjustments here in the game. No, Kieran, can't thank you enough for joining us, man. It was a pleasure to finally get to talk to you, at length. I've seen you obviously here and there at Del Mar, talk to you a handful of times. I think during Breeders' Cup was the most recent, but it's good to have you join us. It's good to hear your thoughts on racing, hear your kind of handicapping insights, how you play tournaments, and obviously best of luck with the rest of this Los Al tourney today.
Yeah, and then all my picks for today, if you go to the Los Al handicapping page, my logo is up on the top and it'll click you through to my site so you can see what I have. Late pick 4 looks very chalky. Which
fantastic.
Means we'll probably have some 80-1 horse win.
Most likely, that's always how it is. Whenever a sequence looks chalky, all of a sudden it's balloons all over the place. But either way, Los Alamitos page, the handicapping section of it, you can find Kieran's or California Pick 4's picks for the day. Kieran, thank you again, my man. I appreciate you taking the time to join us. I look forward to seeing you out at Del Mar.
Yep, I'll see you there.
All right, take care, brother. We'll
Bye.
see you soon. All right, that was Kieran, California Pick 4. Love talking to him. Happy we finally got to share the screen with him. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, we've had Frank Scatoni on a handful of times. Kieran was due to come make an appearance for us. Thank you, thank you to him for taking the time to join us, as it is always great to talk to another sharp handicapper and another guy who loves West Coast racing like he does. Jackson, how's the day going? We're approaching race number 8 at Belmont at the Big A. 4 minutes to post. We're going back on the grass. 12-horse field, which we're going to talk about in just a second here.
Yeah, ask me again after this race. This is a tough race. This is the one I felt the worst about in the pick 6. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm 4 deep. I feel like I
what
have the
4?
ones I want. I have 1, 3, 4, and 5. So the 1 and 5 are the speedy types. 3 and 4 come off the pace. They're all on the inside. The inside looks pretty good still. We'll see. It's a very, very wide open race, though. I mean, it's impossible. I could go 9 deep here and not feel great about it.
Yeah, I just realized I accidentally played 2 late pick 5s on accident as I was also hosting a show as I was playing tickets. But oh well. In the pick 5, I singled the 3 here. Silent Melody, 5-1, very fair price. This one's dropping in competition on the turf and is going to face the. Is going to get the biggest class relief in terms of turf foes I guess, that this one's faced. Man, my words are escaping me right now. But your current co-favorite is the 7, who I am against. Sounds like you're against him. In the pick 6, I use the 1, 3, 5, 8, and 12. So I'm 5 deep. I can't even say that I have a whole lot of confidence as we see the 5 enigmatic is a late scratch. 5 late scratch. That hurts me as well as I use the 5 in my pick 6. So now, Jackson, the 8 and the 7 are both 3-1 right now. If you had to pick one that's going to be used on your ticket, obviously I already used the 8 in my pick 6. So if the 8 goes off as the favorite and wins, I'll have the pick 6 to $2. I don't know that I like that, to be honest. Especially considering, although with that being a long shot or a relative long shot that's scratched out, I don't think we're going to get a whole lot that's going to pivot over to that. But either way, I don't really, it doesn't necessarily do the best things for the payout.
Yeah, I would hope it'd be the 8. The 7 is horse I was against. I mean, the 7, the numbers look good. She makes sense, all that stuff. She's also lost this level like 3 or 4 times already on the grass. And when you're at these lower levels, the restricted claimers, I don't want to give these horses too many chances at short prices. I mean, they start to pile up. I think you're supposed to try to beat them. Can she win? Yeah, of course. But it's just not for me at the price she's going to be in this spot. To be honest, I don't even remember who the 8 is. Who's the 8? I just know I didn't like the 7.
Yeah, the 8 is it's loading right now. Is my my everything.
Duboff?
Yeah, Duboff.
Well, we both have the 1, right?
We do.
Okay,
yeah, the
so
1.
The 1 right to the front. Wave goodbye. Is it Elliott again? I hope so.
Yes, it is Elliott again.
He just sends. I love it.
I mean, yeah, honestly, going sprint to route should absolutely be in front here. On top of that, I mean, the breeding screams going long on turf. You are by War Dancer on the top side, out of a Bernardini mare. I mean, this horse should absolutely relish going 2 turns right now. Got blinkers last time, drops down to 35 restricted non-winners of 2 lifetime from state bred allowance competition at the first level, was up on the pace in that absolutely what word am I looking for? In the insanely hot pace last time, where Linerite won. And we're going to talk about the 2 horses coming out of that race as they run in race number 10. That is Perugia and Miss Bourbon, the 2nd and 3rd place finishers, who again got a dream setup. So yeah, I'll take this one. This one is up on the pace. Jockey change from Dylan Davis to Chris Elliott, but again, Chris Elliott just sends straight to the front. So the 1 is currently sitting at 11-1, projected to go off around 13, 14-1. Again, my top pick is the 3 Silent Melody, Ruben Silvera, Jorge Abreu team up for this one. This one, I just think, again, the class relief could do wonders. First time at this restricted level of competition on the turf. Jackson used the 4. What are your points on the 4? What did you like about this one?
4 is just a fresh face, right? I mean, a lot of these horses, they've had plenty of chances. They haven't really gotten the job done too much. This horse at least is kind of on the improve. She's still lightly raced. She can take a step forward in here. Even with the 5 coming out, there's supposed to be a decent amount of speed in this race, and she is a horse that does her best work from off of it. So if they go quick, she should be the one picking up the pieces late. Now, I know the 1 turf race wasn't great, but she had a little bit of trouble. It was the debut. She's improved significantly since then, and she's run well in the all-weather. Got to think she'll probably be able to handle the turf just based on the breeding as well. I would much prefer her to a horse like the 7, like I said, who has had more than her fair share of chances at this level. So I guess the 4 would be my top pick now that the 5 is out. The 5 was my top pick. I've been waiting to get that horse in the grass for like 3 starts now, and she just keeps either getting rained off or scratching, or a combination of both. So guess we'll have to wait yet another day for Enigmatic to find a race in the grass.
That's right. We're going to have to wait. They are loading in the gate for race number 8. The 7 looks to be your post-time favorite, 5-2. Second choice, 4-1 on the 8. The 3 Silent Melody and the 4 Miss Spitfire, both sharing 5-1. And then the 9, 7-1. The 1 is taking a hit down to 8-1. Was just 11-1 a few seconds ago. But again, in the pick 5, pick 6 horizontals, that's probably going to pay a little bit higher. As again, the 5 was scratched, so anybody that had the 5 in those horizontals is going to default to the 7. It looks like they are almost all the way in the gate. I'll give us the race call one more time as I continue to. We're at 1:45 p.m. out here on the Pacific Coast. Still an hour and 15 minutes until Churchill Downs kicks off. For anybody curious, so we'll keep going for, I don't know, as long as we feel like going. Jackson, there's still plenty of races to cover. We'll get back out to Monmouth as they have their last race coming up, and then we have more from Woodbine. But for right now, they're in the gate. Belmont at the Big A, race number 8. I'll wait till they break to give you guys the call. But yeah, Jackson, you like the 4. I like the 3. They just broke out of the gate. The 1 Queen Atlas broke sharply. So did the 4 Miss Spitfire. To that one's outside is the 8 Dub Off, as well as the number 10 Eastern Star. But the number 1 Queen Atlas does seem to have a clear lead at this point through the first time by the finish line. And Chris Elliott is opening up on this rail runner, currently up by, oh my goodness, like 4 lengths. Looks to be, this quarter is going to be 22.68 seconds. I did not call that. I just read that off the screen. In second is the 8 Dub Off, then back to Miss Spitfire, the 9 Bella Veloce. Yeah, someone's got to tell Chris Elliott that he has to give his horses a breather every now and then. To the outside of Miss Spitfire is the number 10 Eastern Star, then back to Bella Veloce, then back to Silent Melody. To that one's inside. Then comes the 7 River Tay, who is your favorite, and then far back to Freud's Fancy and Toxic Girl, along with Dream on Kara and Lucky and Gorgeous to trail the field. Half mile, 46.22 seconds. Chris Elliott seems to have slowed things down, but his horse is probably just tired. Queen Atlas rounding the turn, a diminishing 3-length lead as they reach the top of the stretch. Number 8 Dub Off is in second under a ride. Chris Elliott, as they turn for home, still has the lead by about a length and a half. We'll see how much this horse has left. The 8 Dub Off seems to be in a prime position. The 8 just takes off, passes the number 1 Queen Atlas with relative ease and pulls away in the stretch. The 8 looks to be winning this. Silent Melody is making a late run, might get up for second place, but it looks to be Dub Off on top at 9-2. Queen Atlas is going to hold second at 8-1 with the 3 Silent Melody in third and the 4 Miss Spitfire to round out the super. 8-1-3-4 in race number 8.
Should have used the alternates. That's annoying. I hated that 7.
I did too. Also just like that 7, but it would appear that the 8 went off as the favorite. So somehow I'm still
closing. No one's closing.
Yeah.
They went
not
1-2.
a whole lot of closers. It is that whoever gets that first jump at the top of the stretch seems to just win. I mean, they went the final furlong or the final 2 furlongs, I should say, in 24 flat. It's not flying. They went the final furlong in just under 12, so 11 and change. That's not terrible.
I don't know. Is it good?
I don't know. I don't know what's good anymore on this track. Final time, 135.33 seconds. Number 8, Dub Off, Javier Castellano is your winner. Somehow I'm still alive in this pick 6, although now I'm upset because I singled the wrong horse in the next race. That's Omaha Pistol. I meant to single Dark Magic. I was moving too quickly. I was a mess. So I don't know. We'll get to that problem. Maybe it'll be a problem that works out for me. Maybe it won't be, but I'll put a little win bet on the 7 Dark Magic once we get there. All right, Jackson, fast moving day, but we had about 10 to 11 minutes until our next race. Next one we'll cover. Sorry. They're both going to go off on top of each other, as is tradition with racing. Looking at 10 minutes to post till Monmouth, 11 minutes to post till Woodbine. So we'll cover Monmouth first. This is their nightcap. Excuse me. This is their nightcap. It's going as a race number 9 mile maiden $10,000 claimers. Next time I call the Ohio Derby. The Ohio Derby is coming up in a little bit. But first, Jackson, let's do a tournament check-in with you. How are you doing in the tournament at Los Al?
Doing good. I went all in, both entries on that horse that won. It was the favorite, so nothing too fancy. Did not exactly win like an even money shot, but she did win. So now I'm alive, 2 all-in doubles to the 2 big favorites in the next race. So you just need one of them to hit, and I'll be good. Won't win the contest by any means, but it'll get me about halfway to my goal, which is about 10x roughly, depending on
I like it
on who enters and everything. So we'll see. Like, it'll put me in position. It's not gonna be winning total, but it'll put me in the spots where I only need to make one more move after that. So,
I like it.
Need a chalky result. Come on.
Chalky result for Jackson.
Come on, Noah. Noah's gonna be so
Come
proud
on,
of me.
Noah.
Text me after, be like, yes, you're doing great. Chalk, chalk, chalk. You good, bro?
So
you look a little distracted.
No.
Did you not have that
Man,
horse? Are you upset? Did you miss the pick 6?
No. I had it. I'm just yeah. No, we're all good out here. All right. I'm hopping all over the place. Jackson, did you look at Thistledown today? As we have 3 races left on their card, but they obviously have the Ohio Derby going as race number 12 and the Lady Jacqueline going as race number 11. Did you look at that race at all?
I looked at the last 2. I don't know what race. I didn't hear what race you said they're on.
They're on race 10. Don't worry about that race. Race 11 and 12 are the 2 main ones for the day.
I did look at the 2 main ones, yes, if we want to talk about those.
We do, but first, we are going to take a quick, we'll call it a 3-minute.
All over the place. Bro.
All over the place.
You're like, the actual sound. Oh, Mom, it's actually before that, Thistletown. But before we get to Thistletown, we're going to go back this way. Like,
it's just called teasing the segments that are coming up. Real quick, we're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and Jackson and I will be back to cover Thistledown, Woodbine, Monmouth, Los Al, Belmont at the Big A. We're going to cover it all. We might even cover Churchill's first race that starts at 1 hour and 9 minutes. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. We'll be right back. And we're back. Just like that. Thanks, everybody. Okay, we took a quick break. We reset the show. We're back at it. First things first, Jackson, you said you looked at race 11, the Lady Jacqueline at Thistledown, as well as the Ohio Derby. I covered this with Howard Kravitz on the HHH Racing channel. The late pick 5 is what we went over. We're just going to be talking about the last 2 races. Race number 10 is going to go off in a few minutes. We're not going to cover that one. But what's up?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what are your thoughts on race number 11, the Lady Jacqueline Stakes? Big scratch out of there, and the 6, Where's My Ring, for Peter Miller. 2-1, second choice on the morning line. Now, heavy favorite is the number 7, Penoir, Jose Ortiz, Rudy Brissett, with the number 4, In Just My Heels, likely to be the second choice. Who'd you like in there?
Yeah, I mean, Penoir now is going to be just way, way too low of a price for me. She's the best horse in the field. She's probably going to go the front. You're going to know very quickly if she's a winner or not. I think there is a chance this pace heats up a little bit. The 2 is pretty quick, as is a horse like the 1 stretching out. So I don't know if she's going to have that easy of a time getting the lead. And we saw what happened last time when she couldn't make the front end. She didn't run nearly as well as she usually does when she does establish the lead. I want to take a small shot with the 5, Candlelight Hours. Just feels like she's going to be one that's tucking in not too far off of it, could get the jump on a deeper closer like the 4, In Just My Heels. And I think the stretch out for her is going to be good. I mean, she's done good work going 2 turns in the past. This is the 3rd start of the year. I like the 2 sprints to a route angle. She needs to improve a little bit, nothing too crazy. She runs well without Lasix. I think there's things to like about this horse. She's 12-1. It's not going to be, a massive win bet or anything, but I think if you're looking for value in a race like this, you can do a lot worse than a horse like the 5.
Yeah, no, that's a great shout. You can certainly do a lot worse than a horse like that. Penoir, I do think, is going to be vulnerable on the front end. I think that pace does look like it could heat up a significant amount. So, yeah, I'm not going to talk you off of a 12-1 shot in a race like that. Going into the Ohio Derby, is there a horse that stood out to you that you liked, or how did you feel about the runners in there? Obviously, a nice one in McAfee is making his return. Johnny V in the saddle.
Yeah, it feels like a 3-horse race. It's probably going to be one of the favorites in that one. Same thing. I'm against the favorite, Clever Again. I mean, he just feels like he's going to be way over bet based on his last couple of races. The Oaklawn race, he just got the easiest lead ever and won that spot. There's other speed here with Moplex especially. And then obviously the Preakness, he's going to be way over bet based on all the trouble he had. He was finishing up the track regardless of what happened with him getting shut off in there. People are going to very much overestimate the effect the trouble had on him in that spot. I question how good he actually is. I would try the 2, Chunk of Gold. In here, he was just way too close to the pace in the Derby. I liked him going in there. It didn't work out. I question the distance for him as well, but I do think he is going to get the right kind of trip in here. 9 furlongs is a bit of a stretch, but I think it can make a pretty legit case that he's the best horse in the field, and he's the 3rd choice on the morning line. So he needs to take a step forward based on what happened in his start second 2 and 3 back. But he had paired up those Buyer Tops. He ran deceptively well in the Louisiana Derby when he was up close to very hot pace that day too. So I think that would be my pick in that race. And I'm not going to talk anyone off of McAfee either, who's rapidly improving with each and every start and should probably get a good trip too.
Yeah, McAfee is my top play in that race. I was going to play a double in the Lady Jacqueline, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to put a win bet on McAfee, but I might try and stretch that value a little bit and play the number 4, In Just My Heels. My top pick on the HHH Racing Picks and Ponies channel that I covered earlier this week with Howard Kravitz was the number 7, Penoir, but going to be too short of a price, and I believe going to be a little bit vulnerable. 9-5 I thought was fair, but this horse is going to be at least even money in this spot now, so I don't want to take anything that crazy on a horse like that. Jackson at Woodbine, we're 0 minutes to post, a mile and a 16th on the turf, optional claiming 50,000, non-2 lifetime. They're loading in the gate a little late here, but do you have a pick here?
I did not have a pick at this race. I know the 7 is one. I just briefly looked at it. I think it was the 7 was one that we talked about last time with JD. I think is it the 7? Yeah, Wyoming Bill.
Yeah, Wyoming Bill.
Yeah, he ran really well last time. I don't know if I'd won him at 5-2, but he's one I had my eye on at least.
I like it. I'm going to take a shot with the Rail Runner Side Street, 5-1, first time in the barn for Rachel Halden. 0 for 11 on the year, but this runner's coming out of some races at Belmont at the Big A, maiden special weight, going a mile and 3/8, going a mile and a 16th here. That's a pretty significant cutback. Maybe a little bit too short, but Kitten's Joy should love the turf. Sophia Vives has them out 5-1. I think is relatively fair value. The 5, who I believe is Hammerhead or Mr. Hammerhead, just Hammerhead for Gold Square, out of the barn of Chad Summers, just racing the American Turf on Derby weekend. So that's a substantial class drop for anybody that cares there. But they're loading into the gate at Woodbine for race number something. Let me see. Race number 8 at Woodbine. I'll throw it up on the screen here. Robert Geller will give us the call. Sorry if the frame rate is terrible. We might have to. I might have to reset this one. Actually, this is looking a little rough. Okay, we'll try this again. Let's see what it's gonna look like here. Certainly doesn't look like it's gonna be much better, but we'll do our best.
Monmouth going off at the exact same time too, by the way.
Oh, of course it is. It's okay.
I'll take the 3 lead at Monmouth.
I'll take the 6. I don't know. Here we go. They're off at Woodbine. I'll unmute it. Robert Geller will give us the call.
Is Call Me Sue towards the leading bunch, and they are the top 4. A couple away is Good King Sam, and Hammerhead is over on the inside. Deeper out goes Thundering towards mid-pack and being tagged by City of Oscars. Then Wyoming Bill, who's got back towards the rear with Southern Style Captain Juno, and 3.5 away last, West Side Tide. Call Me Sue gliding to the front, and out the stretch has the lead by about a length. Off the inside, Connor is second. Side Street sharing third with Graffiti Rider, Good King Sam. The next trio, Hammerhead, Wyoming Bill, and the widest is Thundering. 1.5 lengths away, City of Oscars around Captain Junior, the stablemate. On their inside, Southern Style, and just a length away last, West Side Tide. Only about 6.5 covers them and controlling the pace nicely here, Dice K. Dice K Fukumoto, the leader on Call Me Sue, by a length to Connor. They're out by 2.5 to Side Street, coming through on the inside of Graffiti Rider. Hammerhead tracking forward as Good King Sam's losing some ground. In the center, Wyoming Bill as Hammerhead splits horse as well. Thundering's making a run. Then Southern Style, City of Oscars starting to wind up. And then Captain Juno and last West Side Tide. On the inside, Call Me Sue taken on by Connor. Hammerhead's only a length behind them, coming on strongly. And as they come to the quarter, Side Street up the rail from Thundering. And finishing is Wyoming Bill, and City of Oscars is running on. Hammerhead races up on the outside to join Call Me Sue. On the rail, Side Street, Connor there in the center. Captain Junior from the back. Hammerhead went to the front. Down the outside, Emma Jane on Wyoming Bill, and Side Street chasing Hammerhead. Hammerhead got clear. Hammerhead by 2 to Side Street and Wyoming Bill. They're coming on. Side Street and Wyoming Bill and Emma Jane. Wyoming Bill. Wyoming Bill.
Did you win? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if anybody watches has ever watched Wallace and Gromit, but Claymation moved smoother than that race at Woodbine did. So apologies for the lag there. I think the 7-1. I think it was 7-1-5. I'm watching now. Yeah, 7-1-5 across the wire. So Wyoming Bill got the job done today.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, he got a really fantastic ride. Saved all the ground on the turn, swung them out, and kept him in the clear. It was a great ride. Was that Emma Jane Wilson?
That was Emma Jane Wilson. Back in the winner's circle.
Yeah.
Back in the winner's circle where she's comfortable. It always is. Scary
spill last year, but coming back strong. She's had a good week, I think.
She is. Coming back strong. 7-1-5-12. Jackson, we're 0 minutes to post at Los Alamitos. Did you take a look at this? This is race number 3, 6 furlongs, maiden, $20,000 claimers. What do you think about any of the runners in this race?
Yeah, I'm alive in the contest. So the 2 favorites,
There we go.
I think it's got to be one or the other. They're pretty similar coming out of turf races. There is a question mark, but if turf form's ever going to translate, it's usually at Los Al. A lot of turf horses take to it. I think Kieran mentioned that a lot of them train over it as well. So it's not usually a huge concern, especially since I have 2 of them. Like I just need one of them to run well. Obviously, the main threat is the one on the Royals taking a little bit of money, but I'm hoping for the chalk.
There we go. The chalk is the 5 and the 7 for anybody curious. The 7 dropping from maiden, $50,000 on the turf. The 5 dropping from optional claiming $50,000 company, where this one has run her last 5 races. Still a maiden, now dropping down to maiden 20. This one did finish first on debut in maiden $32,000 company as a 2-year-old at Santa Anita. So that's worth paying some attention to. Has some dirt for him to go back to. The 3 Flash That Smile was a scratch this morning. You mentioned the 1 has been taking some money. My top pick, I guess, is going to be the 5. Just the class drop, the class relief. Gets back to dirt where this one did some decent running. So I'll take a stab at the 5. Jackson needs the 5 or the 7. I'll go ahead and give us the race call here as they're loading into the gate. As Oh, I heard there was the spill at Monmouth, so good thing we didn't show that race. Obviously, hope all is best for the horse and jockey. But all right, loading into the gate at Los Alamitos. Obviously, we can't show it. Let me see what I did here. Somehow closed the tab that was showing all the racing for me. All right, either way, the loading into the gate, I will give everybody the race call, and then Jackson, we're going to bounce back out to Belmont at the Big A. As we're approaching the fourth leg of the pick six. I'm still alive. Jackson is still alive in 5 out of 6. So we'll count that for something.
We're not counting that at all. Don't ever say that again.
Had to. All right. They're loading in the gate. They're just about in the gate. Looks like everybody's racing. All right. Everybody broke out cleanly. The 8 C Plum Run broke out for the lead. The 1 down on the rail, Tom Starr, is in second, with the 4 tracking in third. That's Lena Lingard, first-time starter for Steve Miotti. To that one's outside. Then back to the number 2, Reckless Optimism. From what I can see, to that one's outside. Looks to be the 5, My Catherine Rose, as they approach the far turn. Still up front is the number 8, C Plum Run, who's shown speed in her debut, but then nothing last time out. Second place, the 4, first-time starter, Lena Lingard. They went 22.48 for that first quarter. That seems quick-ish. In third place is the 7, Ellie Moore, 4-5 as they're rounding the far turn. My Catherine Rose making up some ground from the back of the pack as they turn into the stretch. Up top, it is still Lena Lingard, Armando Aguilar. Whoops, I don't think that's his name. With to that one's outside, Ellie Moore. To the far outside is My Catherine Rose. Down on the rail, making a threatening run, is the number 6, Bottom Dollar. The 7, Ellie Rose, has not gone on with it. The 4, Lena Lingard, still up top. My Catherine Rose making a late run from the outside. I can't tell who's in front right now. It looks to be the 5, My Catherine Rose. It is the 5, My Catherine Rose, is going to get the victory at 2-1 over the 4, Lena Lingard, who ran a great race on debut, followed by the number 6, Bottom Dollar, in third. 5, 4, 6 is your top 3. Jackson, you're alive.
Yeah, I got alive. Got a little lucky there. I think that 6 might have made that interesting if she had gotten clean run up the rail. The 4 is kind of tiring. Made it really tight up there for the 6 horse. But alive, moving on. Should put me in first or second, I would think. And a lot of racing to go still, but puts me in a good spot for sure.
Let's go, man. Love having you in a good spot there. So hope you continue. What's your do you have a plan for the rest of the way through the Los Al card?
I do have a plan. I don't have a specific horse yet. It's kind of get my numbers out of the way for now and let the leaderboard kind of fall for a little bit and adjust as we need to. But obviously, I don't think that's going to be the only move I have to make for this contest, is that's only puts me at about 5x, and I think it's usually about 10x-ish, depending on how many entries. So more moves to be made, but we'll kind of just play it by ear.
And in terms of the prize pool, are you playing for any seats, any qualifiers, or just cash? It's
just cash. This is the one that they had seated, so there's an extra $500 in it, which is quite substantial when it's only $15 going. Each entry is only $15 is going to the prize pool. So on a normal day, this would be like a $200 prize pool. Today it's going to be much bigger. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good math. Good job, Ryan.
Hey, look at me. I can do math sometimes. All right. Speaking of math that I didn't do correctly, I singled the number 9 Omaha Pistol at Belmont at the Big A instead of the number 7 Dark Magic. Currently, they're making their way onto the track. 5 minutes to post. Morning light, or your current favorite is the number 9 Omaha Pistol. Close second choice at 9-5. Just click down is the 7 Dark Magic, followed by the Rail Runner at 9-2. Jackson, how would you see this race? As I am dreading the mistake that I made.
Yeah, as you said so elegantly, I'm alive in 5 out of 6 apparently for the pick 6. So I singled the 7 for my wonderful 5 out of 6 in here. This was probably my strongest opinion of the whole Aqueduct card. Arguably, for sure. I just thought the 7 was way better than the 9 on paper, at least who I wanted to bet. 9, I wanted to prove it to me a little bit that he can run back. He can run back to that race 2 back. It's kind of an outlier. Because obviously a lot of numbers in the high 50s as far as the buyers go. And then he came back and regressed last time back to those high 50 numbers and didn't really have too much of an excuse. I guess it was a unfavorable race flow, but I'm just comparing him to 7. Like 7's coming up way better race. He had trouble. That was also a merry-go-round race. I think I already mentioned the way better race part, right? Yeah, that was a man special weight on Belmont week. I mean, that's just going to be way, way better field than what he's facing here. goes from an inside post to an outside post, second start with the bench. Just I felt like there's a lot of things to like about the 7. And given the difference in price, what it's projected to be, the 7 is the one I would be comfortable planting my flag with.
I like
Plus,
it.
Mon
Yeah,
hasn't lost the race since Derby Day, it feels like. So
pretty much. In the next race number 10, Mott does have another runner. This one's 15-1 on the morning line. What do you think about that one? Second chance.
It was a tough race. The 10th race was tough. I think I was 5 or 6 deep, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I did use that horse just only because Mott hasn't lost. The turf does have some decent turf form, needs to improve, obviously, but is one I used. I think I mentioned this. The 10 would be my top pick, going out for low profile connections, low profile jockey. And looking at her 2 turf sprints, I mean, she's kind of the fastest on numbers by a pretty comfortable margin on those 2 turf sprints, and you're going to get a decent price on her. I'm definitely going to play double with the 10 because I did this on a different show earlier this morning. If you had switched the connections of the 3 and the 10 would be like 6-5 in that race in race 10. So I'm not going to try to look too into that. I'm going to take the better price on what I think is the better horse and hope we're right, can connect the dots. I'm going to play a little double. I'm going to play pick 3 as well, and just a couple bombs in the last race.
I like it. Best of luck to you. What are the bombs you're using in the last race?
Really like the 2. Think the 2 was very, very underrated race last time. Trouble not listed in the PPs, which is the best trouble you can possibly find.
Yeah,
Third start ever. Now going from outside post to inside post. Definitely one I want to use. And the 9 as well is one we talked about. Another one that had a little bit of subtle trouble, but might get the right setup. So the 2 from up close to the lead, and the 9 from way out of it, and hopefully one of them blows them up. But the main push will be the double.
I like it. For the pick 6, for those purposes, I'm single to the 9. I don't love it. Don't really know if I can hedge in this situation, but man, what a bad mistake by me. Single to the 9, then I go 8-10 in the next leg, which I mean that race could go any number of directions. I don't know that I feel supremely confident in anybody in that race. And then the last leg I close it out with 2-6-9. I'm just hoping to get alive to a score, and hope for the best there. 6 is Uncommon, I believe is the name. That one makes some sense for the Clement stable. And then the 2 you just spoke about, the not listed Trouble in the running lines. That is the best trouble you can find because you got to do the work to find it. And then 9, I believe it's Taking the Candy or Candy Dandy, Dandy the Candy, Dandy Man Candy Can, something like that for Lane Leslie. 0 for 43 at the meet, but I think he breaks through and gets a win there in the last because that if you can make up any ground at all, I think that is the horse that you want. So they're approaching the gate. It's almost post time. Let me see. We got it's listed as post time on screen. Obviously, Belmont at the Big A. They're going to take their time. I will give us the race call as I have in the past. 45 minutes to post for Churchill Downs race 1 for anybody that's curious. We're going to keep it going for as long as we can, Jackson. I guess as long as I would say we are alive in the pick 6, but as long as we're keeping things moving in the pick 6, we'll keep things live here on the Saturday show. Jackson, this is our final Saturday show. So, well, not our final. It is just the finale for this stretch of Saturday shows. But ABR is going to be live next week covering Woodbine on Saturday. That is the 28th, I want to say is the date. Yeah, the 28th, 7 days from the 21st. So, sorry, it was Jackson decided to text me mid-show. So, we'll stay with you through the end of the Backwood card. So we'll cover these last 3 races, this little late pick 3, as they are approaching the gate right now. So ABR is going to be back on the airwaves next week covering the Woodbine show. I will be hosting that. Jackson, I'm sure if you're around and free, you're more than welcome to join us as you are our resident Woodbine guy. We might even reach out to Mikey P, see if he can join us. I know you and the money folk love some Woodbine. And they have a really good day tomorrow. I believe, is it the prep for King's Plate Day? Or am I getting those dates?
No, well, I guess it could be. Usually it's the same. The King's Plate prep day is usually the same weekend as the Haskell and opening weekend at Del Mar.
Yeah.
But they do have, I believe it's 5 stakes next week, so it should be good. Between Woodbine and Churchill next week, there's going to be a lot more stakes action than there was, or than there's going to be today.
That's right. Churchill Downs, fantastic card next week as it is Stephen Foster Day. They're in the gate. Belmont at the Big A, about to break out. I'll give you guys the race call. They are off. Clean break for all the runners of the race. Dark Magic going out to the lead. So is Omaha Pistol. Omaha Pistol sent like a banshee from the far outside, and Omaha Pistol is going to have a lead as they get through the first couple hundred yards. Right in behind is the 8 Gonzo with the 7 Dark Magic tracking intently. Now put ahead into second. Up front, clear lead for Omaha Pistol, who went off at even money here. Second place, the 8 Gorzo stuck a neck back in front. Then back to Dark Magic against the rail. To that one's outside is Run 'em More. Then against the rail is Kings and Queens for Manny Franco. Back outside in sixth is the number 6 Daytona Moonshine. But up top through a quarter in 23.58 seconds, it's the 9 Omaha Pistol. Seems to be doing it pretty easily. That one's outside is Gorzo. To the inside, Dark Magic still battling for second as they round the far turn, the half mile, 47.08 seconds. Lascano takes Omaha Pistol up on the lead, still by a clear length into the far turn. The 8 Gorzo being niggled along now in second. The 7 Dark Magic looks to just need some place to run. To that one's outside. Number 4, Run 'em More, starts to put in a move. They're reaching the top of the stretch. The 9, Omaha Pistol, seems to be doing it easily still. The 7, Dark Magic, is under a ride. They turn for home. 3 quarters, 112.11 seconds. The 9, Omaha Pistol, kicks it into gear. 7, Dark Magic seems to need a way through. They are staggering home. The 7 Dark Magic is splitting rivals to the far outside. Kings and Queens putting in a huge run to this one's outside. But Dark Magic is taking the lead. Dark Magic over Kings and Queens. Dark Magic seems game as he fights on. I'm kicking myself for making the wrong single here. Dark Magic is going to go to the lead, win by a length over.
I can't believe you did that.
Holy shit, I can't believe it either. This is,
dude.
I mean,
we talked about it all week. We had
we did
show for this sequence.
We did.
We're all like, oh, we're gonna finally break the curse. We all have the same single, and then you put the ticket up and like, 9.
It's unbelievable. I know. So the 9 Anna's call must have been what was in my head. Because I guess I don't know. I know I mean, that is just a terrible mistake by me on that one. Dark Magic wins. I said this stat. I still have the stat in my head. Belmont doing this move in New York, going maiden special weight to maiden claiming on the dirt with 6 for 11, make that 7 for 12. And I did not use him. What a stupid person I am for that. That's incredible. So yeah, no, I have Chris Couples being nice, in the chat. Yeah, hey, you got to learn things the hard way sometimes. I got Shane O'Neill. Sorry, Ryan. And then very, very nice words from Noah Maher.
Hey, Ryan.
That's all right.
At least you're still alive. You're still alive for 5 out of 6, man.
That's right, brother. Still kicking for 5 out of 6. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, that is what it is. The 7 Dark Magic, Junior Alvarado, Belmont, they still haven't lost since the Derby. Goodness. Oh boy. All right. Anyway. What a terrible. That's a rough mistake to make. Hey, everybody makes mistakes. Oh well. Moving on. That was race number 9 at Belmont at the Big A. Oh dear. All right. We'll move on now. The next race that we're going to be able to cover and talk about, we're 13 minutes away from Woodbine. We're 16 minutes away from the Lady Jacqueline at Thistledown. So we'll probably do Woodbine first because those are the races that we can show. And then we'll pivot back out to, wow, they already went official. That was quick. Then we'll pivot back out to Thistledown. What's that?
It's like, great. I can get my win bet money already.
There you go. Smart
for a race.
All right. I'll throw, let's see here. What can I do? We'll do this.
Woodbine.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting Woodbine up here for us. We'll see how good the feed is. Looks just mediocre at best. All right. Jackson, we're approaching race number 9, 12 minutes at Woodbine. Who'd you like here as we are on the synthetic track for this effort?
I like the horse on the screen. Hands in the air. Hands in the air, baby. I thought there's a good horse to take a little shot with. 6-1 right now. Let me see if that's actually going to hold up because that would be a little surprising if it will. Looks like she'll take some late money. She'll be more like 7-2-ish. She's an interesting horse in this spot, I thought. She's coming out of a couple tougher spots. I mean, she ran really well on debut from the rail at Turfway against a good field. Ran fine, ran in place. And then tried 2 turns with her at Keeneland. Took a lot of money that day. She was only 6-1. And Keeneland made it special weight. She was pressing a hot pace the whole way. Didn't run great, to be fair, but that, wasn't ideal circumstances for her. And then they brought her back to Woodbine last time and didn't have the greatest of trips in there. And again, kind of just ran evenly in a 1-turn race. So I think this is really what she has wanted to do all along, which is go 2 turns on the synthetic. She's finally getting that chance today. She's quick enough to establish position from the outside, and there's really not a whole lot of speed in here. I guess the 2 is kind of quick, as is the 5, but they're not like crazy speedball types. So she might be able to make the front, and if not, she should be able to get forward enough, like I said, to get good position, just stalking just off of them. So the 8 would be probably a decently strong push for me in here. I don't really want to mess around playing anyone else, and just gonna hope I'm right with the 8 horse hands in the air.
I like it. I'm going to take a bit of a shot. I like the 4, the first time starter, but the 4 is very, very cold on the board. So I'm going to pivot over to the number 9, Innisfree Isle, I believe is how it's pronounced. But this one's going sprint to route for the second time starter. This one's by Bolt d'Oro. Great horse. I just thought maybe second time starter. I love, going sprint to route. I like that angle. I think this one could make a lot of sense. And could certainly show some improvement, for a good and capable second time out trainer for Catherine Day Phillips, who's 0 for 18 at the meet, 0 for 19 on the year, but I think can get on the board here and show a respectable running. Has had 7 in the money finishes from those 18 starters, so her runners have been running respectably. So I want to give this one a shot. I'm going to give the nod to the number 9, currently sitting at 10-1. Jackson's on the 8 at 8-1. Jackson, what are your reasons for being against the favorite? That's the number 7, Our Canadian Apple, who ran a respectable start on debut. Trainer, though, 0 for 25 for second-time starters.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't bother me too much with this horse. It was just more, I really like the 8 in here. I didn't view them to be this different in price. I mean, one's even money, one's 8-1, so maybe there's something I'm missing here I'm not seeing that the public is. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought the 8 was the better horse. And certainly at anything close to this price discrepancy, I would much prefer the 8. But the 7 ran perfectly fine on debut. I can certainly see why she's taken some money. She's probably supposed to improve, get in the 2 turns as well.
Definitely. The 5 is taking some money at 7-2. You think this is a threat to wire him?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, this race kind of has a murky pace scenario. So if someone gets an easy lead in here, like we saw a couple races ago, I won't be surprised at all if they're able to take them all the way. She's improving with every start too. If I remember correctly, that is a race we actually covered. It is. Yeah, that is a race we covered. It was the very last race of the day, Woodbine. It didn't seem like it was a very good field. She ran fine, to be fair. I'm just not sure how good that group she faced was.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Finished a third by about 6 and change lengths that day. Yeah. But certainly looks to be almost lone speed in this effort. So that's one to keep an eye out for if she can get loose.
It felt like that was a race where the top 2 were just way better than everyone else. The winner was a first-time starter who had a ton of trouble and came from the clouds. They were they were 6 clear of the rest or whatever it was, and she just kind of happened to be best of the rest in that spot. The 5 would be one I'd be trying to beat, I guess. But again, I'm just all about the 8. About the 8 in this race.
Yeah, you're all about the 8. I'm all about the 9. We'll see if we can get a price home in today's 9th race at Woodbine. They've gone a commercial during the simulcast feed. What are you laughing at now?
Can you ask for a winner?
From who? Someone behind me? Hey, Doug. You can just walk through the screen. Yeah. No, I'm. Hey, who's winning at Woodbine? All right, she didn't give me an answer. Yeah, no, I must think I'm in the CIA or something. The way she tried
Probably
to duck
are,
out of. Yeah, hey. I can't believe I hit the 9 at Belmont at the Big A. I'll get over that. Now I hope I lose the pick 6, right? Now I hope I don't. The 8 and the 10 don't do this and get this job done. Woof.
Probably.
Anyway. Do you think actually? Let's stick on the pick 6 for a second. We've had some very middling prices. Nothing crazy. Obviously, we started with a 1 to 4 shot. These last 2 races on turf are pretty competitive. Obviously, a lot of scratches out of this 10th race that we'll get to in a little bit at Belmont at the Big A. Last race wide open. Do you think we have a shot to see a carryover into tomorrow's card?
Probably not. It would have to take 2 bombs to win the last 2 races, which I guess isn't impossible. But with the 1-5 free square in the first leg, you had second choice, one, and then everyone was spreading in the 8th race anyways. It's like the 3rd choice. Yeah. A lot of people had that horse, and then the most recent race was the most obvious 2-horse race of all time. So probably not. It would have to take probably the 2 longest shots to carry over. But I've been wrong before. I won't be surprised if I'm wrong again. So maybe it will.
Right now, looking at the board, your favorite is 6-5 for Perugia. Second choice 7-2 for Miss Bourbon. Jackson, that's music to our ears. Those are 2 horses coming out of out of that meltdown pace scenario that we were speaking about earlier. Yeah. So those are your 2 favorites right now. The 2 second chance is 4-1. That's Bill Mott Alvarado teaming up again. 21-1 on the 4 Blossoming Erudite, who I think that one has a chance with Chris Elliott as the pilot. Definitely going to send out to the lead again. Maybe this one can hold on for the win. You have the 6 Splashy, a one-time, I believe, I forget the ownership, Adelphi Racing Stable owned horse for our buddy Howard Kravitz, who owned a piece. Running Rio for Safi Joseph, Manny Franco. And your 10 long-legged Queen for those low-level connections. Currently 11-1, a horse that certainly has some races to get back to on the turf that make a ton of sense. But we'll get out there and we'll talk about those races as they come up on us. As they come up in about 10 to 17 minutes to post for out there. We have 8 minutes until the Lady Jacqueline at Thistledown. Current odds looking like Penoir 3-5 currently, with the 4 in Just My Heels at 3-1. Candlelight Hours, who I believe is your pick, Jackson, is 5-1 currently, down from that 12-1 morning line. Yeah, big scratch of Where's My Ring. I was not going to touch Where's My Ring today. So the fact that she scratched is a bummer.
Yeah, I agree. Would have been a takeout reducer. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It would have been interesting to see. I still think I think the 7 is worth taking a little stand against. This isn't one I'm like making my whole day around trying to beat this horse, but I do think she's a little vulnerable in a race like this, just based on the other speed in here, and especially at 3-5. 3-5 is fine. I do like the 5. I like the fact that she's taking some money in here. I like the fact that she's going to get the jump on the 4. She's taking money in the win pool. She's taking money in these pick 3s too. So you'll probably get close to that 5 or 6-1 in here, and maybe she'll trip out and get the right kind of trip she needs to run well. I'm curious to see what these doubles are paying into the next race. So it looks like with the 7, so we can kind of get a better view of where the real money is going to go. Looks like Clever Again and what's the horse you like? McAfee are about the same right now.
Okay.
So that's a little interesting. And then Chunk
that tells me I'm definitely going to be playing a double here.
Yeah. Are you going to play with the 7? Or are you going to start with someone else?
Yeah. No, let me look at these probables real quick.
Because with the 4 and 5, who are the 2
I'll go with the 4. I'm going with the 4.
McAfee is actually favored with the 4 and the 5. Right now.
I would play a 4-4. Chris Couples in the chat just said Penoir into McAfee is 3-1. I'm gonna play a 4 into the 4.
2-1.
What's that? 2-1. Yeah. Actually 2-1. Yeah.
It is 2-1. You would never.
It is. We've danced this dance before.
It's a big difference, especially when you're talking about a chalky one like that. I mean, 2-1 versus 3-1 with 2 big favorites is quite a difference. That's
very true. No, I'll probably play a 4-4 double. I think Just My Heels certainly has a shot, and I like the value at 5-1. That's currently paying 11-1. So that just the price discrepancy there, I'll hop aboard that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I mean, obviously this could change. There is $37,000 in the double pool. That's not insignificant at all.
Definitely not.
But if I like the 5 here and I'm against Clever Again the next race, I mean, it's paying 5 with 2 is Chunk Gold is paying 46-1, and 5 with McAfee is paying 34-1. I mean, you Dutch those to get close to 20-ish. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. So those are your 2 picks then? Or who would you side with?
I think if I'm playing a double, if the 5's my pick here, and I want to take 5-1 to win, or I can try to get a roughly 20-1 into the next race. So I think it's a 3-horse race, and I can eliminate one of them, but I don't like it all. I think that's a good way to do it. And if I happen to miss one or the other 2 legs, whatever, you're talking about a 21 bet here. I think That's good business right there, I think.
I think it is. All right, we're 3 minutes to post at Woodbine, so we'll stick with them as they approach race number 9. Again, Maiden Special Weight Company on the synthetic, going a mile and a 16th. Your favorite is the number 7. Excuse me. Been talking for so long, I'm yawning. 7 currently 3-2 after that debut performance. The 5 is your second choice at 3-1. Definitely know where this filly is going to be early. Just don't know her late. She got a little tired last time out. Jackson is with the horse you see on screen, the number 8 horse. I'm with the number 9, and we'll see. Jackson's raising the roof. I got nothing to say on that one.
I'm gonna play the Manny Pacquiao song as soon as she wins.
There we go. The Manny Pacquiao song. Oh, like his walkout song?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there was I don't know. I thought someone made a song about Manny Pacquiao. I was like, hey, he's a cool guy.
No, it's his walkout song, isn't it? It's Manny Pacquiao, isn't it? Did I make that up?
You might have made that up.
I
might have made that up. You should fact check yourself.
Well, the problem is he hasn't fought in like 10 years, so it's been a while.
He hasn't. It's been a while. Man, those Manny Pacquiao fighting days were great. Up until he fought Mayweather, that's when everything went to crap. So
well, yeah, because he fought him 10 years too late. But
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Mayweather always loved to duck a good opponent or two. Wait till they got a little older.
Yeah, he should fight Jake Paul. That'll be a real fight.
God, hey, you're gonna speak that into existence.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Actually, I think Mayweather is still too young. I think Jake Paul is gonna want to give that another 15, 20 years.
Fight Tyson again.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. But 2 minutes to post that at Woodbine. We're going to keep things rolling here on the Saturday show. After Woodbine, Monmouth has wrapped up for the day, but we are going to pop out to Belmont at the Big A. And then again, we got 27 minutes still till the first race at Churchill Downs. Jackson, we were talking earlier, this pick 6, if you choose to participate in the 20-cent Derby City 6, which I haven't even looked at the sequence yet, so I'm probably not going to participate in it. But man, what a sequence, huh?
It's tough, man. And we were talking earlier. This might be one where it actually could pay out just because of how tough it is. I mean, I've looked closely at the last 3, and I kind of looked at the first 3. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Chris is saying no because we shouldn't play it, and he's absolutely right. I'm just saying for the people that actually do play it and play these crazy, crazy tickets, like this could be one where it does get taken down just because it's so wide open. And there's 6 legs like that. We're just like, okay, that race is tough. This race is tough. That race is tough. Like, I don't know where you're supposed to even get skinny at all.
Yeah. It's one of those where, hey, you can play it. And if you have 2 strong opinions, you got to single them. You got to spread everywhere else. And you really just got to hope that you're right where you're right. That being said, we're loading into the gate at Woodbine. No promises that this is going to be a smoothly streamed race, but I'll hope for the best. They're loading in. Robert Gower will take us the rest of the way.
Dixie is a breeze, is a first-time starter. And she comes forward. Nicely bred, by not this time. Work out of fair to gate 5. Bella Classica in her second lifetime start with Eswan Flores riding for Catherine Day Phillips. Blinkers on this filly. She is called to the line. She's at a big price. She ran on well last start. Waiting for the favorite after that, our Canadian Apple. Bella Classica following Work Out of Fair, who's settling. Not quite there, though. Work Out of Fair proving a little handful, so the wait is because of the 5. Work Out of Fair behind the gate, side on. And at this point of the day, we start to finally see some sun breaking across the track as the cloud has finally lifted. Don't forget the 4 p.m. post time tomorrow with the change of start time for the races, given the impending rising temperatures tomorrow. Our Canadian Apple waits, so 2 hands in the air, and also Innisfree Isle. Work Out of Fair has settled and is now secured. It is the turn of Bella Classica.
By the way, the Thistletown race is going to go off at the exact same time, probably.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I got the feed pulled up, so I will call that race once we're done here.
Canadian Apple goes to the line next.
But yeah, obviously racing is having one of those great days. Actually, they seem to be doing the circle behind the gate method right now at Thistledown. So hopefully they're waiting for Woodbine to finish. Isn't that a nice thing for them to do?
Last to go as Innisfree will go up now.
I wish more
Yes.
tracks did that.
Let me make sure I bet it. And
So
don't
hands
get shut
in
out.
the air.
And make sure I bet the right
Line of
numbers.
Josie Carroll.
Yeah, make sure you bet those right numbers.
Stand by
It's
for a
real.
start. They're in the gate.
It's a real
Locked up.
pain in the ass when you mess that up.
Locked up.
Off they race, bobbling the brake. Bella
Yes,
Classica
from the
back
front.
second last. Our Canadian Apple and Work Out Affair in the center, sent to the front with near the inside. She's Pretty going through an Arundel. A line of 3 and on their outside, Hands in the Air. On the rails is Beach Cricket as they take the turn out the stretch from Innisfree Isle. And then came Dixie as a Breeze, Our Canadian Apple, and the trailer is Bella Classica. Arundel went to the front, shows the way by about 2 lengths. She's Pretty second, a neck away, Work Out Affair. Caught a bit wide, Hands in the Air around the outside. And over on the rails is Beach Cricket, split by Innisfree Isle. 2.5 away came Dixie is a Breeze. Over on the inside, second last, Our Canadian Apple under a tight rein. And last is Bella Classica. Arundel went out fast, but has now settled in front nicely to lead a length to Work Out Affair, who's pretty well poised in second. On the inside third, She's Pretty, and edging up his Hands in the Air. Starting a run for the back, Bella Classica and Dixie is a Breeze behind Innisfree Isle. Our Canadian Apple's in the center of those, and on the inside is Beach Cricket as they bunch. They go to the 3.5, and still in front, Arundel from Work Out Affair. Hands in the Air is there. And running on is Innisfree Isle. Our Canadian Apple's in the clear, started to make some ground behind on the inside. She's Pretty. They come down the side and Work Out Affair after Arundel. A length and a half, Hands in the Air. On the inside, Innisfree Isle. Our Canadian Apple still about 5 behind them. And as they turn, Bella Classica is next. And Work Out Affair has joined Arundel and goes to the front. Work Out Affair got the lead. Back
Come on,
in third,
Nine.
Innisfree Isle looks a big threat. Innisfree Isle is coming on. It's Work Out Affair in front, tackled by Innisfree Isle. Innisfree Isle and Fraser Abley loom on the outside of Work Out Affair and have got the lead. Innisfree Isle, Work Out Affair game, but Innisfree Isle's got momentum and goes away to win. Innisfree Isle by a length to Work Out Affair.
Look at that. Somehow picked a winner at Woodbine.
Hey, man. Hey, when you save ground on the synthetic track,
Yeah.
I think good things happen. He did it from post 9 too. It was a good ride.
Got 5-1. Okay.
This rider last fall had like a stretch where he won with like 4 50-1 shots in the span of a week. I mean, he's good.
Wow. Okay. So he knows how to ride. They just broke from the gate at Thistledown. They are moving into the far turn. Up on the lead is the number 3 to that one's outside. It looks like the 5 with the 1 up against the rail. Sorry, I'm getting the numbers right now. Red Hot Lass is leading the way into the first turn. Candlelight Hours in second, with Lucky Cougar splitting them 1-5 on Penoir in fourth, tracking these 3 leaders. Then back to the number 2, GoldenEye Magic. In Just My Heels takes up the back of the pack with the number 8, Just Be Quiet. Up front, still Red Hot Lass leading the way through a quarter in 23.24 seconds. Back in second, 28-1, Lucky Cougar. Field of long shots right now is third place is 31-1. GoldenEye Magic moving up against the rail to that one's outside. In a battle for third is the 5, Candlelight Hours. Back to the number 7, Penoir, who went off at 1-5 as they approach the far turn. Half mile in 47.28 seconds. Still out the back is In Just My Heels. Within 7th is Just Be Quiet. Into the far turn now. Penoir seems to be making a pretty strong move on the outside. Nothing from In Just My Heels. Penoir being niggled along now, but looks to be in a pretty solid position. Candlelight Hours making a move towards the lead. Penoir just to that one's outside as they approach the far turn. 3/4, 112.23 seconds. They're around the far turn nearing the top of the stretch. Jose seems to have 2 hands full of dynamite as he's given a couple reminders to Penoir as they turn for home. Candlelight Hours not done yet. Candlelight Hours still has a little bit of fight. Penoir turns for home in front by a neck. Candlelight Hours battles on. Then GoldenEye Magic putting in a nice run from the outside at 31-1, and Penoir does not have this one home yet. Golden Light Hours or something is coming, and it is the 2 GoldenEye Magic to spring the upset at 31-1 over the 7 Penoir. Hey, that was something.
Right at the wire. Woo.
Right at the wire. What a run by the 2 GoldenEye Magic. I did not have this horse anywhere, as I assume most people did not. This was your longest shot in the field, 31-1. Just got a text from our buddy Howard Kravitz. Penoir is awful, is all it said. And I mean, 1-5, and you lose on the wire. what a run at the end from the 2 GoldenEye Magic. This filly by Mucho Macho Man, 3-year-old, 4 for 7 lifetime. This is her first time stretching out to 2 turns, and what an effort as she takes down the Lady Jacqueline Stakes at Thistledown.
Yeah, I mean, Panwar's clearly not the same horse when she doesn't make a lead. And it's not like she had a bad trip in there either. They went quick. They set it up for her. She was 1-5. She just got beat.
Just got beat on the square by a 31-1 shot. These payouts in the pick 5 are going to be nice.
Was there bombs in the races before?
Ooh, hey, that photo is pretty close. I still think I don't know. I might have called that one too soon. That was very close. I think the 2 still got it. At least that's what it looked like. Again, first glance on the on like the shutter cam replay that they have here at Thistledown. It looks like you're still right before the wire. Posted 2-7-8-5, 31-1 over 1-5 over 18-1 over 7-1. Wow. Oh, they're off at Los Al, by the way.
I missed it.
Yep.
Look at the rider wave to the crowd. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's feeling it.
You should, as you should, bro.
As he should. A very deserved
1-5 shot and biggest race of the year at that track.
Yeah, absolutely. Biggest Philly race of the year at that track.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Los Al, let's see where we're at in this race.
Inquiry.
They are across the line. There's an inquiry. It's 3-4-2-1, but hold all tickets as there's an inquiry involving the top 2 finishers. We're not going to stick with that. We're 2 minutes to post. Belmont at the Big A, race number 10, where I am rooting heavily against the 8 and the 10 so that I can be just fully kicked out and eliminated from this pick 6 where I hit the wrong ticket. Jackson, let's talk quickly. The 3, Perugia, the 5, Miss Bourbon. Tell us about that race that both of these runners are coming out of.
Yeah, just go back and watch the replay or look at the chart or do both. You can just see that, the race just completely collapsed. It was the horses that were last, second to last, and third to last early finished first, second, and third. And that's just the definition of a complete pace collapse. Feels like one you probably want to downgrade a little bit, especially when, what's her name, won? Liner Right, who was like 1 for 25.
1 for 28. Yeah.
Whatever it was. Just felt like a race you want to be a little careful with. I will say the horse who's favored here, Perugia, she's lightly raced, and she has also won and done very well from very close to the lead. I don't think she'll be that far back today, and that's probably why she's taking all the money that she is. I'd be more bullish on her chances than the 5 Miss Bourbon, but that's no breaking news there. She's 6-5, Miss Bourbon's 7-2. So I thought it was a tough race. I have the 10. I'm alive in the double of the 10. She's 12-1. Again, her turf races are her 2 turf sprint numbers, both on time form and by, are faster than everyone else in this field. Now, is she going to be able to replicate that? It was a while ago. It's a big question mark, but that's why she's 12-1. Like, I'm very, very willing to find out and see if she's still capable of running a race of that caliber against a field like this, especially at a price like that. I mean, that's just too good to pass up, I think.
Now, I did play a pick 3 that continues on with this being the second leg. Obviously, singled the 7 Dark Magic in the first leg. I singled the 2 in the last leg. Blinkers on for Ricardo Santana. Should have that one more forward. I went 5 deep in here. I don't know how you feel about that, but I went 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Again, I'm fading the 3 and the 5. Those are 2 horses that can absolutely beat me in this spot. Haven't seen a whole lot of runners close from off the pace at Belmont at the Big A. At least from not nearly as far off as these 2 should be. No, the 3 Perugia does have the ability to show some speed. Kendrick Karamouche is aboard today, so I wonder if maybe this one lays a little bit closer. Either way, though, coming off that last effort, where this one did have trouble at the start, I don't really want any part of this horse. This is one that's going to have to beat me today.
Yeah, I agree. I'm more – okay, here's what I need to know. Who do you have in the pick 6 that we very much need to cheer against that?
The 8 and the 10.
Okay.
But you have the double to the 10.
Come on, 10.
Look, well, hey, if it goes 10-2 to end us out here, there's a chance that this pays 5-6 in the pick 6. There's a chance for a carryover here.
I guess.
Chance. Small chance, but a chance. So I'll root for the 10 because it's not your fault that you're a good handicapper. I just pressed the wrong button. Unbelievable. So let's see. They're approaching the gate here. What a terrible mistake. If this goes 10-2 and it pays 5-6, and I'm gonna be an upset person, seeing as that would be I don't even want to go there. Don't even want to go there. So, they're approaching the gate. I will give us the race call. We're going to stick with you through the end of Belmont at the Big A. And then, obviously, in between this race and their last race, I will call the Ohio Derby, as well as the first race from Churchill Downs. And, Jackson, I don't know if you've looked at the first race from Churchill Downs, but I definitely have a strong opinion in there. Excited to talk about it. Excited to play my opinion. Currently sitting at 3-1 last I checked. Going to play some doubles into that second race, just try and build a bankroll. If I can hit this early double, I might swing on that 20-cent pick six.
Please don't.
No guarantees.
Oh, I know. All right, I'll let you call this race. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
All right. Loading into the gate. Belmont at the Big A, race number 10. Everybody help me in cheering against the 8 and the 10, as those are the two I used in the pick six. But I guess for Jackson's case, we can cheer for the 10. Last one to go in is the 10, Long-Legged Queen. They're just about in the gate. They are going to break. We're going 6 furlongs here, allowance company. And they're off. The 3, Perugia, missed the break again. The 8, Running Rio, goes straight out to the front, now cleared off by about a length and a half, very quickly out of the gate. In second, Blossoming Erudite with second chance, pressing up to the inside. That one's outside. The number 10, Long-Legged Queen. In behind is Perugia after missing the break. Then back against the inside is Miss Bourbon, the number 5. Then to that one's outside is the 6, Splashy for Linda Rice, Jose Lascano. Up top through a quarter in 22.10 seconds is the 8, Running Rio, as they enter the far turn. In second, Blossoming Erudite, neck up over Long-Legged Queen in third. They both seem to be putting in a good run right now. Then back in fourth is Perugia. Then back against the rail, second chance, who seems to be fading out of it a little bit. Then back to the number 5, Miss Bourbon. They round to the top of the stretch. The 8, Running Rio, still up top. 4, Running Erudite, Blossoming Erudite, putting in a good run. Perugia to that one's outside. Long-Legged Queen still in third. The 8 had something left, but the 4, Blossoming Erudite, is up top. Puts a neck in front as they are charging. The 5, Miss Bourbon, putting in a furious late call. We'll see if she can get there in time. The 4, Blossoming Erudite, 18-1 on top. 5, Miss Bourbon closing in for second, but not in time, as the 4, Chris Elliott, gets it 18-1. And hey, I did not use that 4, so thank God.
I'm feeling kind of dumb now because I did. So if I
In
would
the
have had
pick
that,
six?
yeah,
Oh man, we should have made a group ticket.
could have been alive for some bananas scores to these 2
Wow.
bombers in the last race. But you know what?
Wow.
That's how it goes. Oops.
Man, on my $1 backup pick 5, I did not use the 8 dub off that knocked us out. But otherwise, I used 2, 4, 8, 10 in that spot. I did use the 4 in my pick 5, or my pick 3, excuse me, in my backup pick 3 that I played 5 times. So I played a $5 ticket, or $5 minimum there. So I'm alive to the 2. So that'll be a nice payout without a doubt. But man, oh man. Okay, at least I'm not alive in the pick 6, and I wouldn't have been unless I played the original ticket that I had. I was going 5 deep in this. I was using the 5 horses that were not the 5 Miss Bourbon and the 3 Perugia, but that was way over budget. I was sitting at like $160 ticket or something, and I just don't play pick 6 tickets that are that expensive.
Right.
But man, Christopher Elliott, hey, he gets the job done this time at 18-1. Goodness,
I'm scared to see
Okay.
these payouts.
I know.
Could be
You and
full
I both.
shot to the 2 horses I had.
It's a pool shot to the 2. I would almost guarantee it.
I say it's definitely 5 figures. I don't think it's a full shot.
Here we go. This is the comment I wanted. 1 in first at Churchill Downs sucks. That is exactly what I want from the chalk-eating weasel that is Noah Maher. That means the 1 is going to be in the winner's circle. Ross Blacker is in here. How's the car, Ryan? It's good. The car is nice. And I got it back this morning. Carryover, says Chris Couples. I mean, there's certainly I would bet that there's going to be at least 2 horses that carry this pool. As for what horses, let me look at the field real quick. I think the 5 Paribia Blue would be a carryover. Same with the 10 Diamond in the Sand, 13 Bengalese. I'm going to say those 3 will carry it. I think everything else is going to pay out, including the number 2 Ocean Rain, who, Jackson, you like and you have talked me into. Yeah, Chris Couples, I'm on the same horse at Churchill Downs. Thank you. Yeah, no, we are smart, Chris. Noah in here, he is probably going to bet V Vuv, as that is the favorite, and that guy eats more chalk than a Michael's chalkboard aisle. So what is this? Oh, just a funny text. All right. Final at what's up?
What's next?
We got to go back out to, I would imagine Woodbine is going to be next as we're 14 minutes opposed. No, Churchill is 9 minutes away. So we got to talk a little Churchill Downs.
Do it.
Race number 1. It's loading up. It's a mess. Obviously we can't show it. We can't show it, but we will talk about it. Vivuv, your current favorite at 9-5. Second choice is the 7. I don't have the name in front of me. Let me see. Next one is second choice, the number 7. Sorry, Waves of Mischief. Then the 6, Mo Fox Given, is fourth choice behind the number 1, Proctor Street, who is now 5-2. Proctor Street's my top pick in here. I think this horse fits on numbers. Ben Curtis has been riding fantastic. Brendan Walsh obviously has a strong hand in this race as he sends out the 1 and the 7, your second and third betting choices. Jackson, how do you see this race? I don't think there's enough pace for Vivuv, personally.
I didn't realize there were so many scratches. So sorry.
Yeah.
Who's out? The 3?
The 3, 5, and 8
are all out. Well, it does change things.
It does.
I guess. I mean, I don't like the idea of the 7 in this spot with Pratt. I mean, he's taking money, blinkers on. Didn't like being back there last time. So with the blinkers going on, you would think that horse is going to go or at least try to go to the front in a race that really doesn't have much pace, especially with Pratt riding. He'll probably try to take advantage of that. He'll be first or second early on. And she did some good things last year. She ran well. She ran well at Elbert Ellis and Kentucky Downs. She does well in Kentucky. I think it can do worse than the 7. The 2's fine. She never really gets there. The 1 has to deal with the layoff, although she has run well over it in the past. I just feel like she's maybe a little obvious, but we'll see where the money ends up going, because right now they're pretty similar.
They do seem to be pretty similar in odds. I like the 1. The layoff doesn't really bother me. I think if anything, she could be pretty fresh off the layoff like she has been in the past, and I think that's going to help her chances. So I want to give that one a big look for sure. That's going to be my top pick to start us off. And I'm actually going to play a double into the 4 in the next race. That's Fly Guy Mick. This is the second time starter for Dale Romans. This one is going to be we're going 8 furlongs. Maiden Special Weight Company in race number 2. The 7 tap into this certainly figures really strongly. But 2-1, a little bit short. Steve Asmussen has not had the strongest start to the meet, although Flavian Pratt takes the ride for Steve Asmussen, so that's certainly an upgrade over his usual riders that he has. But I don't know. That feels a little short. Dale Romans is super with his second time out runners, so I want to give that one a look. I'm playing the double 1 into the 4, and I like that.
Yeah, I looked at the second race. I didn't really have too strong of an opinion, to be honest. The 7's kind of obvious, but I wasn't in love with them. And then some of these alternates, I'm just I don't know. What do you really do with these? I'd probably be most interested in the first-time starters, to be honest. Be curious to see how those 2 get bet, both for Cox and for the other Asmussen horse.
Yes, the Cox horse in the second race certainly going to take some money. This is a good early pick 5 if you do choose to participate. Third race is a restricted fillies race. Main special weight, 2-year-olds going 5.5. That's just a nice restriction of the RNA for 65K or less. Not that didn't finish second, third, or fourth thing that we had a little bit ago. Then we have an open allowance race going 5.5 on the turf. And we wrap it up going 6 furlongs, claiming $32,000 company. So either way, or it should be a very competitive early pick 5. Then you have race number 6. And race number 6 does start the late 20-cent Derby City 6 if you choose to participate. I am going to pull up the will pays for Belmont at the Big A right now. I have to do it. I got to do it. Got to do it. Hey, how about that? I nailed it. There's 3 carryover horses. It's the 3 I mentioned that absolutely have no business winning. It's the 5, the 10, and the 13. All carry it over. The 2... Jackson, what do you think the payout is?
I already saw it. I'm choosing to ignore it. I'm choosing to ignore it.
The 2 pays out to $74,000. The 6 pays 7,400. The 9, Candy is Dandy, pays 37,000. My goodness. Yeah,
Maybe the 11 will win. I'll just be completely wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, I've never been a bigger fan of Bourbon Milk Punch in my life.
See,
I hope.
Do I cheer for my 5 out of 6 and get my money back and be depressed about that, or do I cheer for the 11, just lose my $80 and just? I don't know. That's a tough dilemma to have.
It is a tough dilemma to have. Certainly not the spot you want to be in. That being said, the payouts in this pick 3 are pretty nice. So I might have to root for the 2 here. I have the 2 singled in a $5 pick 3, and it pays. Yeah,
Okay.
it pays very nice.
Okay, I'm cheering for the 2 then, because that means we're going to dinner if the 2 wins, right? Please.
Yeah, we're going to dinner. What should we hit? Outback Steakhouse again?
Somewhere nice, bro. No, let's go to Jake's by Del Mar. I want to go.
Yeah,
I want
Jake's
the
Del
sunset
Mar. Okay.
view. I want some ice cream. I'm in.
Because I'm using the 2 because you talked me into it. Opening day at Del Mar, you pick where we go. We go for dinner if we can get this 2 home. All right.
All right.
Good deal. Yeah.
All
Let's
right. All of a sudden, we're live, boys. We're live.
Yeah. All of a sudden, we are back in a big way. So let's go ahead and get this 2 horse home. Ocean Rain. Don't know where you got the name from, but hey, good on you. Few minutes to post. 3 minutes exactly from Churchill Downs, race number 1. Jackson, do you have a top pick? My bad if I missed it.
It'd probably be the 7, but it's 5 horse field. They all kind of similar. I don't think this is a race I'd be betting too heavily. The scratches kind of run the prices of the horses I liked. So,
what are the pick 5 payouts? I'm curious. They've got to be pretty healthy.
Pick 5 is paying better than the pick 6.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the pool in the pick 6 wasn't big enough.
Correct.
That's why it happened. Yeah.
Correct. Certainly doesn't look like we're gonna get a pick 6 carryover though, unless something absolutely obscene happens, which I don't know. It would be tough for me to see that happening. But hey, crazy things happen. Jackson, how's the Los Al tournament treating you?
It's good. Nothing. Man, talking
Wow.
to me too fast.
Great.
Nothing much has happened since we last discussed it. Still in first, not by a whole lot, but just got a minimum out of the way. Going to get another minimum out of the way here. So just continue to see what happens. It did close, so there's only 14 people in it. It wasn't too big of a tournament today, which is good when they add in all the seed money. It's fantastic. Drink.
Exactly. Fantastic.
My empty coffee cup.
Yeah, mine's just pure water. Jackson, did you look at any other races at Churchill Downs today?
Yeah, I looked at the last 3, although the last race my horse scratched. That does confuse things. Like I said, I thought Churchill today was absolutely impossible. It's one of those cards where I don't really think I want to play any horizontals at all. I think you just find a horse you like in each race, or find 2 maybe, and keep it simple, play some win bets, and go from there, because it was that tough, at least the races I looked at. I do have opinions. I just don't think it's going to be very easy to string together a few of them.
Yeah,
but did you look at that Chicago State race? It looked pretty good. The grade.
I have not gotten there yet. No, I haven't looked at the last 5 races. I'm finalizing maybe in a little bit of a light early pick 5 ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of feeling things out. I feel like I can. I like to play some skinny tickets at Churchill Downs, just because if you're right, you're right, and if you're wrong, then you didn't waste a whole lot of money on what is often a very competitive sequence.
Right. Well, and that's how I approach pretty much all of it too. Like I try to keep my horizontals as skinny as possible. Today was the outlier when I played that pick 6. I told you that was my 4th of the year that I played, and I had I think 2 or 3 singles in it still, and it's just how it's going to go sometimes. But like the late pick 5 today, I think I'd be all over the place. Yeah, although to be fair, I didn't look at the scratches yet, so maybe that does change things.
Of the late pick 5, you mean?
Yeah, but I'll talk about the Chicago Stakes. Unless
talk about it.
Are they in the gate? They might be.
They're getting close.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it after, because we're gonna have some time, I think, between that and Belmont.
Yeah, we should have some time. I'm looking at race number 5 right now to try and just find a horse that I that I like a little bit more than the rest of them,
Mhm.
but I don't really. This is a difficult sequence without a doubt, but a fun one as it's Churchill, and they always have competitive racing. It looks like they're just about in the gate though, so I'm probably going to miss it. But
I wish all their cards were night cards. I miss Turfway so much. It's the best.
oh my god, Turfway is amazing. All right, they just broke out of the gate. Who is this? The 4 is up on the lead early. Sorry, I'm a mess. I've been talking for so long. So have you, Jackson. My voice hurts. Jill Jitterbug is up on the lead with the 7 waves of mischief pushing to the outside. 6, Mo Fox Given is back in 3rd. Then comes V Voove, and somehow out the back is my pick, the number 1, Proctor Street, through a quarter in 23.20 seconds. They're moving right along up top. Jill Jitterbug still up top at 20-1. Waves of Mischief in 2nd. Then comes Mo Fox Given in 3rd. V Voove sitting in 4th, and out the back, Proctor Street. Up top, they're moving right along. Strung out field. They're kind of going in order. The 4 is still on the lead. That's Jill Jitterbug. The 7 under a nice hold under Flavian Pratt through a half in 46.96 seconds. That's a very reasonable pace. They're moving into the far turn there in just a second with Mo Fox Given still in 3rd. V Voove back in 4th. Proctor Street in 5th. They are going around the far turn. Jill Jitterbug still up top. Waves of Mischief makes his move down to the outside. Mo Fox Given still in 3rd. V Voove wide to the outside. Proctor Street starting to get a little bit closer. Still tucked in. Going to need to tip out as they get to the top of the stretch. Does just that. They're coming down the stretch right now. V Voove seems to be making a powerful move. Proctor Street to the far outside is trying to put in a run, but it looks like V Voove has the kick. Proctor Street is in 2nd, putting in a run. The other 3 are not of consequence. It's going to be down to one of these 2. Certainly looks like V Voove for our guy Charlie Freeman is going to win it on his birthday. V Voove to the top. Proctor Street in 2nd. Mo Fox Given in 3rd. Noah Maher's got to be grinning ear to ear as the Chalk just won the first race at Churchill Downs.
Just like we said, wide open card today, right?
Yeah, wide open card. Starts with the favorite. Good thing I got locked out of that pick 5. We'll go now to, still 18 minutes to post for the Ohio Derby, huh? So we really did a large.
They had like 45 minutes between races for their big 2. I saw.
Nuts.
So they
All
got
right.
some time.
We got 1 minute till the 10th at Woodbine.
Ooh, I'm gonna speed cap the hell out of this. Come on, baby. Any scratches I need to know about?
The 7 and the 1
Are out.
Okay.
That's all I need.
So we approach the gate.
30
Woodbine,
seconds.
minute to post. We are going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. It's allowance optional claiming company. Jackson is speed capping. My top pick is going to be the number 5. I couldn't decide between the number 5 or the number 9. All I knew, the 6 was close as well. I know I'm going with Mark Cassie here. I'm going to take the middling price of number 5 with Tosin Wish. I don't know where you got that name from, but Tosin Wish is who I'm going to go with here. Yeah, that's who I'm going with. Jackson, let me know your thoughts as they are getting closer and closer to the gate.
Yeah, I wonder what happened with 9 horse McAvoy, because he got really good last summer. Came back at Tampa with a monster effort, and that's just been terrible his last 2 starts. I don't really know what's gone wrong with them. Is he worth giving another chance in here? I don't know. It's a tough one.
Man, the favorite at Belmont at the Big A is Alvarado and Mott. 9-5 on Leslie Starr, the number 3, down from an 8-1 morning line. They are betting Mott like his name is Cherie DeVoe. That is, he is taking all sorts of money there.
I don't want to overthink this race. The 6 on his best day is the best horse, and he's 7-2. He's speedy. He's on the inner turf. A lot of speed scratch out of this. He might not be ready for this race, but he's the best horse in the field. So I would take him.
There we go. The 6 for Jackson. It's the 5 for me. They're loading in the gate. Robert Geller is going to give us the call and take us home.
Joining the line, Malibu Mambo. This is race 10 of 11 here today as Tosin Wish goes to the line, beautifully turned out. And coming forward for Team Valor International. Next along is Paramount Prince to gate number 6.
Oh, he's washed out.
Frosted Over goes up. McAvoy. And to the outside gate, Piper's Factor. Moves in, they're all in. Locked up. On their way, and a good start for Piper's Factor deep on the track. Began one of the best with Paramount Prince, who's gone through in the center to be the leader. Piper's Factor angling towards the center of the track, up in front now. And back in third placing, Twin City, and moving forward is McAvoy with Ron's Gizmo the inside. Guided across by Sofia Vives with no opposition whatsoever. And Piper's Factor leads 3 lengths to Paramount Prince, Twin City, Ron's Gizmo, and McAvoy on the outside. A break to Malibu Mambo, Toes and Wish. And last is Frosted Over. Piper's Factor can really do whatever he wants from here in terms of the pace. Leads the way by 5.5 to 6 lengths. And now almost 7. Paramount Prince second. One away third, Twin City. Ron's Gizmos travel very sweetly in the early part. Then came McAvoy, Toes and Wish on the inside. Next to last, Malibu Mambo, and last, Frosted Over. A big lead for Piper's Factor. They come along towards the half mile and still out by about 7 lengths to Paramount Prince, maybe 8. In third placing are both Ron's Gizmo and Twin City. A length behind them, McAvoy. Over on the inside, Toes and Wish from Malibu Mambo, and last, Frosted Over. The pack is descending on Piper's Factor gradually. The leader's about 6.5 or 7 again. And Paramount Prince tried to make inroads. Piper's Factor coming down towards the final quarter with a healthy commanding break still, but is gaining now. Paramount Prince is 5 behind and running up the inside. Ron's Gizmo from Twin City, McAvoy, Toes and Wish the inside. A long stretch now for Piper's Factors on the lead, only a length. Paramount Prince coming to the takeover. Ron's Gizmo the center, and down the outside is also Malibu Mambo. And Paramount Prince in front of Ron's Gizmo, and down the center of the track, finishing really well as Frosted Over. And Frosted Over out wide, and Ron's Gizmo grabbed the lead, and it's Ron's Gizmo, the winner from Frosted Over. They all just weak.
I don't even think he hit the board.
No, he hit the board. He got third. I know you
have.
can't tell because it was filmed on a Pop-Tart, but no, he hit the board.
Oh, man. Yikes.
Or
Who
the
won?
resolution
Ron's
of a
Gizmo?
Pop-Tart. Yeah, Ron's Gizmo the 8.
The layout force. Yeah, he got the setup. They went quick. I mean, even Paramount Prince was going quick.
Mhm.
And he was 6 lengths behind the leader. I mean, they're moving.
They're loading in at Los Alamitos. I'll give everyone the call. Jackson, did you like anyone in the this is race number 5?
Nah, I thought this was a tough race.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet the 8 for a minimum, but
Okay.
that's it.
To show or what?
Yeah.
All right. Racing. Clean break. Clean break for all the runners in the race. Danzing Cat breaks for the early lead. And then Assembled Storm to that one's outside, but Danzing Cat is clear on the lead under William Antigiorgi and Peter Miller for the familiar Robinson Silks. To that one's outside is the number 8 Oofta, your favorite, as this one makes a move from the outside to push now into a clear second. They are strung out behind him. These two have opened up on the field by about 4 lengths. 3-1 on number 1, Danzing Cat. 4-5 on Oofta, who now pushes his nose in front. This gray is going to turn for home in the lead, and there's a glare on my screen, but Oofta kicks on at the top of the stretch, has a lead by about 3 lengths over the number 1, Danzing Cat, who's flailing out of it. Lead is now 4 lengths as they come into the final 1.5 miles of this Los Alamitos stretch. Oofta appears to be home and hose. This one's up by 4 or 5 lengths as they near the wire. Oofta in a runaway performance. Jackson could have bet to win, and this would have been fine. They could run around again. They're not going to pass Oofta. Dancing Cat in second, and the 6, Dancing Bourbon was in third. A lot of dancing's going on.
Yep. Take it. Hopefully no one had it. Horse one for fun.
Did win for fun at 4-5 in a 10-horse field, just as we all think, or just as we all have come to expect. All right. We did say we were staying through the end of the Belmont at Aqueduct card, but it appears as if we're staying through the end of the Thistledown card as well, as they still have 11 minutes to their Ohio Derby. So that'll be the final race that we have covered today. 6 minutes to post. Belmont at the Big A, race number 11. It is a 12 horse field to kick us off. Scratch the 1 and the 1A, but 2 through 13 are in. The 5, 10, and 13 trigger a pick 6 carryover. I'm alive to the 2 and a $5 pick 3, paying about $10,000. So Jackson, we can hit a steakhouse if the 2 wins. The 6 and the 3 currently co-favored at 5-2. Then comes the 9 and the 11, both at 5-1. All right, Jackson, we know you like the 2. You've made your point on that runner. The 3 now clicks down to a clear favorite at 2-1. All right, if you were going to play this race, are you just putting a win bet on the 2?
Yeah, probably. I'm just going to keep it simple. He's, 20-1, you said?
Yeah.
I don't need to get any more complicated than that. Just bet him to win.
There we go.
I mean, I guess you could
nothing-
maybe play some
nothing fun.
exactas with him in second. Like, I like the 3's taking all the money in the world, so I'm sure the horse is very, very live. So maybe that could be one you could do. And then the 9 was the other horse I like. So obviously I would Dutch that a little bit, not have to spend too much to do so. I mean, 3-2 is paying 120-1. So that's spend $5 on that and you're good. And then 9-2 is paying 300. So
there you go.
Keep it simple.
I like it. Yeah,
Simple as
this
possible.
3 seems to be taking a lot of money. Maybe it's they knew money. Maybe it's just no one really knows where to go in a race like this. So they're opting to side with the familiarity of Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado.
Yeah. Well, this horse always takes money. He took money both his starts in his career. He, I don't have a
They? I don't know.
Okay. Well, the horse took money in both of their career starts and didn't run at all. So, the fact that he's taking money yet again isn't exactly something new.
Chris Couples would like to know why you like this 2 at Aqueduct.
Oh, I just thought he had a weird trip last time. I've been watching that replay. He's a lot faster than it looks on the blank PP or on the PPs. It says he was, 3.5 lengths back the whole time. He was going to be on the lead with any kind of decent post position. If you watch the replay, he was up there on the pace. Realized he was going to be 5 or 6 wide and couldn't clear over, and they just try to take him back, and was wide. I just thought it was an inconclusive run. Like, I think there's more in the tank there. He's more fast. He's faster than it looks. And then he even had some trouble on the backstretch heading to the far turn too, where he had to check a little bit as well. So he, if he had drawn post 3 in that last race, he would have been on the leader right behind. And instead, he was heading in the far turn dead last, and that's just not where the horse could have been. Again, the horse might not be able to run at all. He might be terrible for all I know. But at 20-1, I want to give him another shot, making his 3rd career start. Blinkers going on, and now it's drawn the inside, and it's going to be forwardly placed on a very speed favoring turf course right now. Like that, I think that's a decent wager at 20-1.
Especially with Ricardo Santana aboard. Ricardo's very aggressive out of the stalls and from the rail with the scratch of the 1 and the 1A. I mean, you gotta love that. You're every reason to send out of there.
Yeah, and there's not a crazy amount of speeding here either. I mean, not that I remember. I'm looking through it, and I guess the 6 is probably going to be up there. But other than that, who's
the 6 could be up there, but Dylan could very easily just track in second. I think the 2 Blinkers on definitely just has kind of one way to go about it.
Yeah, I mean the 6 could rate. I mean her way better. It's a her. Her way better race came when she came from off the pace, and she was terrible when she went to the front. So maybe they do rate her. I mean, I guess 11's can be pretty quick if she wants to be, and maybe she has to be from that post. But if the 2 doesn't make lead, are you really that upset if she's in 4th, 2 lengths off of it and tucked in on the rail? I just think she's a lot quicker than it looks on paper, and she should get a pretty good trip in.
I agree, and I definitely think the jockey change from Lizcano to Ricardo Santana, I think that shows some intention to have this horse maybe a little bit more forwardly placed. Lizcano rides the turf exceptionally well up in New York, but Ricardo is definitely aggressive out of there. I would say maybe second to Chris Elliott in terms of that colony up there right now when Pratt's not in town. And there's some Kendrick Armouche. Never mind. He's so third because Kendrick is nobody hustles him out of the gate faster than Kendrick. But let's see if we get this 2 home 30-1 for a nice $10,000 day for myself instead of maybe being alive. Oh, actually, I would not have been alive in the pick 6. So thank goodness for that.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
It happens. Stakes.
I'm in.
Stakes going on.
Where are we going?
I don't know. You get to choose.
I
You talked
get
me
to
into this horse.
All right. I'm in. I'm in. I'll have to find a spot. Can we meet halfway? You live kind of far, bro.
Yeah. Well, no, we're waiting until Del Mar opening day.
Why? I want to go tonight.
You want to go tonight?
You can't wait a month. That's just dumb. We got to go tonight.
All right, fine. Yeah,
and we'll probably have Churchill on in the background.
That's true. Oh, yeah. All right.
I'll have the grade 2 Chicago Stakes on at the same time.
That's right, because that'll be going on at 8 p.m. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll meet somewhere in between. What? Like that's got to be like Oceanside.
Yeah, Oceanside, Encinitas, either one.
Okay,
I'm sure.
we can do something up there. I'm sure they got a nice steakhouse.
We got to talk as if it's a sure thing, and it is a sure thing.
It is a sure thing. 2 is going to win. 33-1. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I love it.
This horse is going to run dead last, isn't he?
Nope, he's gonna win.
Yeah, he's going to win. Yeah,
She's 32-1 now. I've got to bet.
Yeah,
I got to bet a few more dollars.
you should.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's see. And again, this will not be the last race that we cover today. I will call the Ohio Derby as, feels like we got to end on that one, you know.
Probably, yeah.
Biggest race of the day, at least for the 3-year-olds in the U.S., because I guess Ascot had some races going today too. But if anybody's curious, out at Churchill Downs, the 7 is 1-2, your current favorite. Second choice looks to be the 1 rail horse, Luis Saez, Rusty Arnold at 5-1 in the Calumet Silks. They are approaching the gate. Belmont at the Big A. This 2 looks ready to run, Jackson.
He is. And I love Shane's comment because here's
look
the
at
thing.
those full cut blinkers. Sorry, yeah. Let's
there's just zero downside to picking a 20-1 shot because if you're wrong, no one cares. He's 20-1. And if you're right, you're a hero, bro. Like,
yeah.
Legend.
That's right.
Big dinner time.
That's right. Big dinner time.
Yep.
Loading into the gate for the last race. Shane, I like how you came back and noticed that Jackson's picking a 20-1 shot. I'm alive to a 20-1 shot. Actually, 36-1 now on this horse. Yeah, you know, that's what you get when you have Jackson and I on the same screen. There's another third person here where, you know, they'd be all over this Bill Mott horse at 5-2. And honestly, 5-2 might be too long of a price for the guy. He doesn't like the horse, but he likes the mindset. Shane, now I hope this 2 runs off the screen so you can be wrong, even though you like the mindset. Sprinkle a couple dollars. 34-1. Oh, this horse is getting hammered in the gate. 33-1. This horse keeps plummeting. The people are listening to us.
Yep. I'm going to put another $5. It's going down to 32-1. Watch. There it is.
Oh,
Here it comes.
Ticked up to 34-1. Here we go.
One last click.
Ticked up to 35-1. Last click as they're going in the gate. All right. They are in the gate. Race number 11. Belmont at the Big A. We need this too. Ocean Rain. One time.
Would this be your biggest score ever?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Come on.
By 3,000 or so.
Nice.
So let's do it.
Break.
Just break. That's a good break. That's a good break. Oh, we broke a little inward. Getting hustled. Sorry. Yeah, wait. They're off. Leslie Starr is up for the lead. The 2, Ocean Rain, is tucked in against the rail. The 11 is going to go to the front. That's Bourbon Milk Punch, who goes off as your 5-2 favorite. To that one's outside is the 13, Bengalese. Tucked in honestly a great spot is the 3, Leslie Starr. The 12, Virtual is in 4th. Parked wide is the 10, Diamond in the Sand. To that one's inside is Candy is Dandy, about 3 wide into the first turn. Tucked in against the rail is the number 6, Uncommon. Between that one and Candy is Dandy is the 7, Lady Gunner. Then back to Ocean Rain, who's sitting in 9th, I believe, or 10th now, 11th. That's all right, though. Seems to be traveling comfortably. Quarter in 24.02 seconds. To scramble on for the lead is the 11 Bourbon Milk Punch, now puts about a length in front of the 13 Bengalese and another long shot. Number 10, Diamond in the Sand. That one's outside. Leslie Starr sits in 4th through a half in 49.47 seconds. Then to the number 12, Virtual. Then back against the rail to the 6, Uncommon. Outside, Candy is Dandy, making a move from the outside, moving up into 7th. Then the 7, Lady Gunner. Making a move is Classic Kara from the back of the pack. They are turning around the far turn now to the top of the stretch, 3/4, 113.60 seconds. They're into the stretch. The 3, Leslie Starr, tips out for the run. They're coming down the stretch right now. 11, Bourbon Milk Punch still in the lead. Leslie Starr coming up. The 4, Classic Kara. Nothing from the 2. The 6 making a late run in for the minor placings. But it's between Leslie Starr and Classic Kara. Leslie Starr has the lead close to home. Leslie Starr by a length. They're going to chalk out with Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado as they refuse to lose.
I don't remember the last time Belmont lost the race.
Yeah, truly. It is incredible.
Yep.
That being said, that was a horse I never had in the pick 6, so I can never be upset about that. And just like that, we are 0 minutes to post at Thistle Downs. So we'll go out there. Huh?
14,000 on that one.
For the pick 6?
Yeah.
Wow. How about it? All right, 0 minutes to post at
Come on, man,
Thistledown.
give it a
This
run.
will be, huh?
Sorry, man. Gave it a little run though.
Hey, gave it a run, gave it a shot. Hey, it was a what was that, a $25 ticket alive for 10 grand? That's pretty good. You know, 2 singles in there. We'll take it. Can't be upset. Still a fun day on the show. That would have been a nice way to end it with a $10,000 pick 3 to end the Saturday show, though. That would have been pretty fun. But we are going to end it with the Ohio Derby. 0 minutes to post out at Thistledowns in Ohio. Your favorite is the number 6, Clever, again, 8-5. Second choice is the number 2, Chunk of Gold. Last ran in the Kentucky Derby at 9-5. Third choice, 2-1, is McAfee, named after the computer programming, not after Pat McAfee, is what I've learned. But those are your 3. They dominate the betting choice. Honestly, the price that I like the most is the number 10, Moplex. 8-1 right now.
Moplex. How does this horse win?
I don't know how the horse wins. Horse is going to have to go sit off of Clever again and just hope that this horse can, kind of outkick him. Maybe Clever again just got a little too much taken out of him in the Preakness and doesn't come back the same horse. You know where Clever again is going to be early. Again, I'm just talking value. I don't really like 2-1 on Chunk of Gold. I don't trust it. 2-1 on McAfee is okay. 7-5 on Clever again is atrocious. 8-1 on Moplex. This is a talented horse. It's going to have to try going 2 turns for the first time. By complexity, these horses don't really like going this kind of route of ground around 2 turns. So I don't know. I'm gonna, you know what? I will play an exacta to end it here at matter of fact, forget that. I'm playing a trifecta to end it in the Ohio Derby. 4 over 10 over 2. That's how I'm going out. Race number 12 at Thistledown.
I put a decent little win bet on Chunk of Gold. I just think he's the best horse.
Okay.
He's the best horse. He's gonna get the best trip. He's 2-1. Yeah. 6-5 on Clever again. I don't get it. He can win, obviously. We'll see.
Kevin in here with a great point. The one post has been in the money 7 times in 12 races. Katie asked us to show the race. I don't think I can. I don't want to get in trouble, even though it's our last show. I would still like to not get in trouble by ABR or the people at Thistledown that I'm sure have streaming rights to this. They are almost in the gate for race number 12. It's the nightcap at Thistledowns. It's our nightcap here on the Saturday show for today, June 24th. They've broken out of the gate. Clever again broke smartly. That one's inside. Chunk of Gold looks to be laying a little closer early. Moplex broke a little outward, but now catches up with the field as he sticks his nose into second, nearing the first turn. The 4 McAfee is in third. They get into the first turn. Clever again seems to be on a not a loose lead. The 10 Moplex is pressing to that one's outside. You get 3-1 on McAfee. He's tucked in a beautiful spot in third. Next up against the rail is Chunk of Gold. To that one's outside is the number 7 Bohemian Style. Then back to the 1 Brenton's Baytown. Outside of that one is, I believe, the number 5 Extradition. Then back trailing the field is Capaluca, the number 3. Up top through a quarter in 23.42 seconds. It's Clever again. Last ran in the Preakness. To that one's outside is Moplex. Then back against the inside, McAfee in a nice spot in third. Then back to Chunk of Gold, a close-up fourth. Then Bohemian Style in fifth, making a move now to put his nose into fourth. Then back against the rail is Brenton Baytown, followed by Extradition and Capo Luca. Through the half in 47.75 seconds, Clever again still leads the way. Moplex to that one's outside. They're into the far turn now. McAfee is going to need somewhere to go on the inside. He looks to have enough horse and looks to have some run. He's still in third. Chunk of Gold starts to get ridden along in fourth. The 7 Bohemian Style under the whip in fifth. I think we're doing something weird. As they turn for the top of the stretch, Clever again is under a ride. Moplex sticks his head in front. Moplex has the lead, turning for home. McAfee tips out. The 2 Chunk of Gold puts in a run. Moplex has the lead by about a length and a half right now as they come for home. Chunk of Gold is going to tip to the inside. Moplex still up top. Moplex is winning. Moplex is winning the race. 10-4 across the wire in the Ohio Derby. Back. Clever again finished a fading 6th. He does not look like the same horse.
No, not at all. He got a second straight race. He had things his own way and didn't run. So
yep. 10-4 across the wire.
You said the 10. I asked how does he win. You didn't respond, so I hope I don't know. He was 5-1, 6-1.
At the beginning of the show, I put $5 on the 10, but
there you
that's at least I had to win. I also bet that trifecta that I mentioned, but that did not hit. Should have boxed them, I guess.
Yeah.
But either way, all right, Jackson, we did it. That was a lot of races we just covered. I don't know how many it was, but it was that was a lot. Clever Again went off at 9-5. That one made no sense. All right.
No, I mean, he probably will get some time off, I would think.
I hope so. I
don't know what else you do with them. Do you cut him? I mean, I guess you cut him back in a race like the King's Bishop or something like that. I mean,
maybe.
I don't think he really wants to go 2 turns either, to be fair. So maybe that is the solution. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with them.
It will.
No one else.
Felt like maybe.
I mean, McAfee, no excuse. Chunk of Gold, I guess.
McAfee's zero excuse.
But nothing really too bad. I mean, it was pretty fairly run race.
Zero excuse for McAfee there. Set a perfect trip, tipped out, had absolutely nothing. Chunk of Gold, good run to finish in second. That's going to be a nice horse for Ethan West moving forward the rest of this year. I wonder where he shows up. I could see him knocking around on those kind of lower level derbies, like, I don't want to say lower level derbies, but, maybe like I could see him in the PA Derby with a real threat. Not that that's a lower level one, that's a grade 1, but something like that. He could kind of go around and I don't know about like a race like the Travers or I don't know. Curious to see how they campaign him the rest of the way. But all right, Jackson, that was a Saturday show. Real quick, before we get out of here, shout out to Dan Torgman. Obviously, he gave us the call back in April. Said he wanted to start this thing up. Goal of showing races, getting a couple of young guys on the screen, emphasizing betting strategy. Jackson, it feels like we've done an excellent job of that. Thank you, as always, for being a fantastic co-host to me and always, giving me shit, giving me props. Whatever's due to come my way, you make sure it comes my way. So thank you, my man.
Yeah, I think the only props I just gave you the entire 7 shows we did was the 10 hours right now. So good job, man.
There we go. That was about it.
20 hours of content, but we did it.
We did it.
We finally got it.
Thank you to Emmett Kennedy, who popped on at the beginning of the show to talk about Royal Ascot. Thank you to Kieran, a.k.a. California Pick 4, who popped on to talk about Los Al and his love for racing out on the West Coast. Thank you to all of you guys who were watching. Again, thanks to ABR for allowing us to fill their airwaves with nonstop degeneracy for about 3 to 4 hours every Saturday over the past, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that. This is the end for right now, but Jackson, you and I are going to be back. We're over at the Gallop Out on YouTube. You can catch us there 1 to 2 times a week doing shows, doing sequences out there. You can catch us on the HHH Racing Network on Pacific Horse Players, among their many other shows that they have going on. You can catch Jackson on In the Money Media. He does some shows covering Assiniboia Downs, among many others. Yeah, man, Del Mar's right around the corner. I'm excited to get out there. What a show.
Yep. Always fun, Ryan. Always fun.
Always a blast. To everybody that was watching, thank you guys again. We will see you next time. ABR will have a live show next week covering all the races at Woodbine. I will be your host for that. I anticipate Jackson to be my co-host for that show as well. You will have the likes of Dan Torgman, among many other guests. Until next time, I hope all your bets are winners. I hope you win photo finishes. I hope you bet just tons of money into the Derby City 6. Just kidding. Don't do that. That's going to be a waste of everybody's money because the takeout in there is insane. On that note, I'm Ryan Anderson. This has been Jackson Muniz. Hey, if we're going to end the Saturday show any other way, it's got to be with just a rambling on and on and on and on to end us off here. But for real, thank you to Jackson. Thank you to everybody that tunes in to watch us just be goofballs on the internet and give out winners every, 4 races maybe if we're lucky. But yeah, I've been Ryan Anderson. This has been Jackson Muniz. You'll catch us on ABR soon. Catch us at the Gallop Out HHH Racing Network. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than America'sBestRacing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. America'sBestRacing.net is a sport for you.